As the sun sets on the 2022 big league season, the stars of tomorrow shine bright in the desert night. For 30 seasons, we have seen the likes of Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and Bryce Harper go from AFL stars to MLB superstars. This year's class has the chance to shine as bright as any. One stellar fall season could put you on a meteoric rise to the show. So come stargaze with us as the best of the best from the Fall League face off. It's the AFL Fall Stars game, next on MLB Network. From Mesa, Arizona, the best and brightest young prospects in the game on display for the 16th annual Arizona Fall Stars game. From Mesa, Arizona, the spring training home of the Chicago Cubs. Today's game coming to you from Sloan Park. It is beautiful here in Arizona, and it promises to be a great day of baseball. Alongside Dan O'Dowd and Jim Callis, I'm Robert Flores. Dan, let me start with you as someone that's Italian evaluator and that has built organizations. What are you going to be looking for today?
Well, again, first of all, Robert, anytime our industry provides an opportunity for the best players of tomorrow to compete against one another, you got to remember, these guys are going to be competing against each other for years to come. I just think it's a wonderful opportunity for our game to continue to grow. So I'm excited to see how these guys actually show up today and begin to compete on the field against each other.
Yeah, and Jim, the game is younger. More than ever before. We could see some of these players have an impact very soon at the big league level.
Yeah, we see that every year. I mean, there's 10 top 100 prospects in this game, Robert. There's a bunch of other future big leaguers. A year ago, Bryson Stott was playing in the Fall Stars game,
yes,
and now he's playing in the World Series. And a couple years ago, World Series MVP Jeremy Pena was out here as well.
Dan, you look at the list there. I know there's someone at the top of that list that you're going to have your eye on today.
Yeah, I mean, really, since the day that he was drafted in professional baseball, I have loved Jordan Walker, 6'5", 250. So when you see him, you go, oh, my God, look at the power that's in this body. But it's not just power. This guy's got a feel for the strike zone. He understands the art of hitting. At 20 years old, he went to Double-A and more than held his own. You know, I just feel like the future in front of this young man is the ceiling is gigantic. Came up as a third baseman,
right,
was drafted as a third baseman in St. Louis.
Yeah.
There's a Hall of Famer and Nolan Arenado in front of him, so they've transitioned him to the outfield. And Jim, how's that gone?
It's going well. I mean, he'll admit he's still getting used to the reads, but for his size, he's a very good athlete. In Double-A, he played 30 games in the outfield down the stretch, had 10 assists. The arm strength's never been in question. And you can see here on this graphic, he was clocked at almost 100 miles an hour on a throw from the outfield, the hardest throw clocked in the StatCast games at Salt River this year in the Fall League.
Now, that's Jordan Walker on the National League side. And, Jim, on the American League side, I know you're going to have your eye on another player as well.
Yeah, you know, Heston Kjerstad of the Orioles is not on the top 100 prospects list, Robert, but he may very well be in the near future. Great career at Arkansas. He was the best left-handed power hitter available in the 2020 draft. Went second overall to Orioles. Kind of shocked some people. It was you know, they like the talent, but there's also some budget concerns there, too, that they moved the money around. And then he didn't get to play for 2 years because he came down with myocarditis. Came back this year finally on the 2-year anniversary of getting drafted. Played well in Low-A, struggled a little bit high. He's ran out of gas, but he's been great. I saw him hit a 424-foot homer on his first day out here in the Fall League, and he's not let up since.
All right, well, it promises to be a great day. Settle in. The future of Major League Baseball is on display today from Mesa, Arizona. Starting lineups and first pitch from the Fall Stars game on the other side.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same. But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different how? You sell high commission investment products, right?
Nope. Fisher avoids them.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Never at Fisher.
Okay, then you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we structure our fees so we do better when our clients do better. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
When you pair delicious food with great people, everyone has a good time. At Slow and Low Barbecue, we always have something fun going on. From happy hour to kids' night, there's something for everyone. Come indulge in our tasty barbecue, like our mouth-watering ribs and fresh seafood, or sip on one of our specialty cocktails, or a cold beer from our full bar. At Slow and Low, we guarantee you'll have a memorable time and leave with a full belly. Slow and Low Barbecue, 2 great locations in Vieira and Cocoa Beach.
Dyson's latest vacuum reveals invisible dust with a laser. Carbon fiber filaments pick up those microscopic particles. Suction is increased when needed. This special sensor counts each size and gives you scientific proof. While this hyperdimia motor and 5-stage filtration provide the most powerful deep clean. Buy direct from the people who made it. Free shipping from Dyson.
Welcome back to Mesa, Arizona for the Arizona Fall League Fall Stars game, a showcase between the American League Fall Stars and the National League Fall Stars. 30th season of the Arizona Fall League, but the first time that the Fall Stars game is going to pick American League versus National League. As we bring you back to Sloan Park here in beautiful Mesa, Arizona. Our Fall Stars are going to be wearing the uniforms of their respective clubs, their big league clubs. So that adds a nice little touch to it. Dan O'Dowd, Jim Callis, Robert Flores. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. First up for the American League, Ronnie Simon from the Tampa Bay Rays organization leading off playing shortstop. Zach Britton hitting 5th. Not that Zach Britton. This Zach Britton is a left fielder, spells his name with an H and not the K like the Yankees pitcher. And Dan O'Dowd, speaking of the Yankees, Jason Dominguez, the highly touted prospect for the Yankees, batting 8th.
Yeah, boy, a young man with a tremendous amount of expectation. I think, Jim, at times we have to realize he's still only 19 years old. Really solid year for me this year. I think he's just actually growing into his game. I loved his on-base percentage between 3 levels last year. Really excited to see him play today.
No, I am too. We got to see him hit a home run in the Futures game. That was exciting. The last time we had him on MLB Network, he's struggled a little bit down here, but as you mentioned, one of the youngest guys in the league.
Yeah, a little tired this time of year too. It's been a lot of baseball for a young player.
You know, and with the pandemic, this is the longest season he's ever played.
And Connor Thomas will be getting the start for the National League from the St. Louis Cardinals. Jim, their number 24 prospect. He's been the best starting pitcher, you could say, in the Fall League.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's the case. I mean, he's not going to overwhelm you with stuff. You know, he goes 2-seam, 4-seam, 88 to 90, kind of a little bit of a lower arm slot. Got a really good slider. He'll rely on a lot. Sinking changeup. Works the corners, competes. He's the type of guy who, when he locates, he's successful. When he doesn't, he doesn't have a lot of margin for error, but he's made very few mistakes down here. He leads the league with 31 strikeouts. Has the lowest ERA among starters down here at 1.59. So we're seeing the best National League pitching performer in the Arizona Fall League to start the game today.
And Jim, his minor league season was a little bit up and down, but as you said, he has seemed to found it here in the Arizona Fall League.
Yeah, you know, he's a ground ball guy. He had one of the best ground ball rates in the minors 2 years ago, and this year he just didn't locate as well. And like I said, you know, he got hit in AAA, but he's, you know, this league has been very good for him. He's building a lot of positive momentum going into 2023.
All right, so he'll be getting the start for the National League as we get here on the Arizona Fall League, which was created by Major League Baseball in 1992 to serve as an off-season, quote-unquote, graduate school for top prospects. The league's comprised of 6 teams that are each affiliated with the 5 different Major League organizations. In fact, their playoffs and championships will be here in Arizona at the end of the week. But for now, here is the Arizona Fall League. First pitch from Connor Thomas. Chopper to third. Noelvi Marte fires over to first, and quickly, 1 pitch, 1 out.
There you go, Jim. So you call ground ball specialist, runs a ground ball away from the barrel, gets a first pitch out.
No, I mean, that's what he has to do to succeed. That pitch was 89 miles an hour. He's not going to, you know, we're going to see guys throw harder. We'll see Abner Uribe probably push triple digits for the Brewers later in the game, but that's how he's successful, and that's what he's been doing all fall.
Batting next is the second baseman, Edouard Julien from the Minnesota Twins, as he looks at a ball inside.
Jimmy, fascinating guy to me. I mean, this guy has got 200 walks already in professional baseball. I think he led the minor leagues in walks in 2021. So his feel and understanding of the strike zone is really, really advanced.
No, it is. I mean, that's one of probably his strongest suit. And we're talking about Connor Thomas being the best pitcher in the fall league. He's probably been the best hitter. He's leading the league in on-base percentage, slugging, tied for second in homers, leads in ops, leads in walks, leads in runs. I think the question with him is where do you play him on the diamond? They're still trying to figure that out.
18th round pick out of Auburn in 2019. Grounded to second. Easy play for the second baseman, Nick Gonzalez, and quickly there's 2 down.
Again, another sinker, 2-0 count. In our game, Robert, the game is really evolving. Pitchers like this, I really feel like in the back end of rotations have an opportunity because you do see so much velocity in today's game. Left-handers that can sink the ball in and away from the barrels of bats, mix in a little cutter or a changeup away. I think they have a chance to be very effective in our game.
That'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, man that we mentioned in the open, Heston Kjerstad, 6'3", 205 for the Baltimore Orioles organization. Number 2 overall pick out of Arkansas. And Jim, that's a fine college baseball program.
It is. It is. And, there was some surprise at the time. I mean, people who aren't familiar with the way the draft works, there's bonus pools. So they took him to save money they could then use on other players later in the draft. Look at Connor Thomas there. Looked like I think 83-mile-an-hour slider there. Was that changeup?
It was a quick first inning, 3 up, 3 down. National League coming to bat here in the Fall Stars game from Mesa. Back after this.
Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean with odor blasters. Triple power action blasts away stains and obliterates odors for long-lasting freshness. More power to you.
Every moment in life is a bet. Like betting on taking a hitchhiker tailgating. But life doesn't offer you up to $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. So bet on America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel, and make every moment more.
Life is expensive. So why is Omar snoozing like a baby? Because he made the smart choice to shop with IKEA. With new benefits for IKEA family members, including 5% off all eligible purchases in-store. Every visit, every day. IKEA.
Before we begin, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And by switching, you could even save $652. Thank you, Liberty Mutual. Now, contestants ready? Go! Why? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What's for dinner? Panera. Freshly prepared with clean ingredients. It's not just a night off from cooking. It's a delicious night on for everyone at the table. Panera. Only $1 delivery fee on our app.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
No score after half inning. Quickly, here's a look at the National League lineup. The top 4, all top 100 prospects, including Dan O'Dowd. The Rockies' #1 prospect, Zach Veen.
Yeah, perfect profile player for Coors Field. Well above average runner. Can play all 3 positions in the outfield. Chance to hit, chance for power. I mean, he's a very, very good-looking young man.
Getting to start for the American League, Noah Denoyer from the Baltimore Orioles organization. Originally signed with the Oakland A's as an undrafted free agent. Falls behind 1-0 to Zach Veen.
He's a guy who'll work with a 93 to 96 mile an hour fastball. He goes for carry up in the strike zone. He's got a curveball. He'll get guys to chase. The slider's his go-to pitch when he needs to throw a strike. He also has a splitter with some tumble. So 4-pitch guy, he really, again, not a big, overpowering stuff guy, but he's mixed his pitches well. And what's been impressive to me about him out here is he was mostly a reliever during the season. And he's adapted very well out here. He leads the league with 3 wins.
Behind in the count, 2-1. Swing and a miss from Veen.
That'll be the next step in his evolution. Sitting on a 2-0 pitch, swings at a breaking ball away, chases a fastball up. These are the little parts of development that the young players need to learn. You get in a 2-0 count like that, you got to center in your hot zone, a pitch you're gonna kind of focus on and be able to let go on. He chased the ball there on 2-0, backed him out of a good count.
And that just misses inside to run the count full. Veen, #9 overall pick in 2020, $5 million signing bonus. As we mentioned, the #1 prospect for the Colorado Rockies.
That's a good pitch right there.
See, I wonder if we were at Salt River, I wonder if that would have been the automatic, ball strike system challenge right there. Either the pitcher or the catcher could have signaled and they might have rung him up.
I think that would have been one they would have. I thought it was a missed call right there. I thought it was a well-executed pitch. Came right back in on him again.
Pretty good AB being put on here by Zach Veen. Another payoff pitch, misses low, and it's a leadoff walk for the Colorado Rockies prospect.
Now we get a chance to see him run, boys.
And he's going to run, Dan, because I think he, not literally every time, but he's got 16 steals. He leads the league in steals. It seems like he runs every time he gets on first base in the fall league. He's not too far away from the record. If he has like 6 or 7 in the final week, he can make a run.
Jimmy, is he running just based upon the fact he's so gifted with his speed, or is he getting good reads and jumps too?
I think it's some of each. I also think that there's like kind of an instructional aspect to this league. You're not, I mean, yes, you're trying to win, but development's first and foremost the objective. And I think he's been told, push the envelope, explore, exactly how good you can get, how aggressive as a base stealer.
There's Jackson Merrill, first pitch swinging. Ball gets away from the right fielder, and Veen's going to hustle into third. And Merrill is into second base with a head-first slide. So the National League has something cooking here with no one out in the bottom of the first.
Jimmy's the youngest player here, isn't he? Position player here, Jackson Merrill.
I think so.
Yeah, really good-looking swing. He gets on plane in batting practice better than anybody that took BP today. I mean, just a natural feel and rhythm in the box. Really good-looking young player.
No, he is. He really, really is. He's been again, this is an offensive league. The hitters are ahead of the pitchers. I saw him the first week of the season. He was hot then. He's been hot pretty much throughout. And a guy who really hasn't played a lot of baseball since the draft. First-round pick last year, and then had wrist and hamstring injuries, so he really hasn't played a lot. So not only is he young, he also is really inexperienced compared to the average guy out here.
They called it a single for Jackson Merrill and an error charge to the right fielder Heston Kjerstad. So runners at second and third. That'll bring up Andy Pages from the Los Angeles Dodgers. A lot of power here, Jim.
Yeah, a lot of power, big-time arm also, kind of that classic right field profile. And I mean, you talk about a lot of power, you got Jordan Walker and Matt Mervis coming up behind him too. So this is a jam.
That ball skipped in front, and it's 1-2.
Is it more power over hit at this point in time, Jim?
I think very much so. He tore up the minors his first couple seasons. Had a good but not great season this year in Double-A, and I think more experienced pitchers were able to exploit him a little bit more than guys at the lower levels were. He had 236 with 26 homers this year.
Another breaking ball in the dirt, evens the count at 2-2.
Really fascinating story on this young man. He was originally in Jock Peterson deal. Going to the Angels, but that deal fell apart, and he ended up staying right here. So
that was a mistake by the Angels, and from what I heard, that was Artie Moreno pulling the plug. He was to save some money after acquiring Mookie Betts.
Fly ball, left field. Zach Britton drifting back, tagging at third and at second. Well, Veen will score, but Jackson Merrill will stay at second. One away, sac fly for Pages, and the National League leads 1-0.
But just to finish that story real quick, so in order to save a little money versus the luxury tax, they were going to trade Jock Peterson and Ross Stripling to the Angels, and he was going to go to the Angels in that deal. But when the Mookie Betts trade got held up, Artie Moreno, the Angels owner, got impatient and decided he didn't want any part of it, and that would have been a nice deal for the Angels.
Great swing there. Got a ball in on his hands, kept his hands in well. Perfect piece of hitting there.
That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Jordan Walker. Oh, first pitch swing.
How about that swing?
Straight back.
It's amazing. I haven't seen this young man since Perfect Game really live. It's just incredible. One, the body development, but two, totally different approach to hit. He had a big leg kick, had a lot of movement with his hands. Cardinals have really calmed him down. His movement patterns are so much more precise right now.
Yeah, at the time of the draft, Dan, I really thought he was more power over hit.
That ball sent deep
and
to
now
right.
He's definitely going to be both.
Kjerstad settles underneath, makes the catch, tagging and headed to third is Merrill, and he's in standing up. So 2 down as Noah Denoyer trying to work his way out of trouble here in the bottom of the first. Runner at third, run already in.
Robert, that's why I feel like he's going to be such a good hitter. So, he just missed clicking that, but it was a ball away, and he stayed on it away. He wasn't trying to pull it. He hit where the ball was pitched. He had a really short swing. Look at the replay of it. He just missed that. just misclicking that 2 millimeters on the bat. Just a very, very sound approach to hit.
That brings up Matt Mervis, first baseman from the Chicago Cubs organization. That ball ripped foul.
Interesting story here, isn't it, Jim?
No, very much so. I mean, he was, like a lot of players, kind of caught up in the 5-round draft during the COVID year 2020. He had a chance to go in the top 5 rounds and definitely would have gone 6 to 10, but that didn't exist. So he was a lot of teams wanted to sign him. He was a two-way player at Duke as a non-drafted free agent. You could only sign guys for up to $20,000, and they did. He came out last year. He's an older guy in 2021 and really didn't perform that well in low A. So he came in this year, 24 years old, kind of needed to prove it or his career was going to be in trouble. Tremendous year. He wound up hitting 36 home runs, led the minors in extra base hits, total bases, RBIs, leading the fall league with 6 home runs, went from high A to triple A, just made better swing decisions and tightened up the swing. He could be their first baseman next year.
Fly ball shallow left. Zach Britton makes the catch, and that retires a side. 1 hit, 1 error, 1 run. We're through 1. National League leading 1-0.
Domino's online carryout deal includes all your favorites for just $7.99 each. So let's play a word association game. Dips and twists?
$7.99.
AP swings?
$7.99.
Large one-topping pizzas?
$7.99.
The only place to get this deal?
Domino's.
That's the thing about claims, you see. They don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take a chestnut. It doesn't just say, oh, beg pardon, sir, but it's now a good time for a jolly bit of window cracking. Oh, I mean, if they did, you wouldn't need a Geico claims team that's available 24/7. Well, near as I can tell, chestnuts don't talk. Or maybe they're just really quiet.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Well, got things to do, Mr. Chestnut, so...
Get a free Doritos Locos Tacos only on the app now by signing up for Taco Bell Rewards. And join our fans as they use Kyle Schwarber's World Series steal to run up the score on free tacos. Steal a base, steal a taco.
During fire pit season, we don't waste any time at all. When we get back together, it's like we never left. Maybe it's the way a crackling fire in a solo stove makes you feel. Or maybe it's that being together again feels like home. Either way, we know the best memories are made together. Save $10 using promo code TV10 at solostove.com.
Catch more live November baseball on MLB Network with the Arizona Fall League Championship game. Watch baseball's hottest prospects duel for the Desert Crown. Saturday, 8 Eastern, only on MLB Network.
You know, this is all about the future stars, but there is one current star that is here, and that, of course, San Francisco Giants shortstop Brandon Crawford and his family throwing out the first pitches here in Mesa for the Arizona Fall League All-Star Game, and Brandon Crawford joining us now. Brandon, when you see these players, what comes to mind, as you've obviously been through this at the beginning parts of their journey?
Yeah, I mean, it just takes me back to my time in the fall league, and you know, just the kind of uncertainty of when you're going to get to the big leagues. But you know, if your club is putting you on, you know, a fall league roster, you know, you're maybe knocking on the door pretty soon. So just, you know, all that, and just learning or getting to know new guys on each team, and it's kind of cool how. I think there's 5 teams, right, on every fall league roster.
Yeah.
So just getting to know guys from around the league, and you know, before they get to the big leagues.
Hey, Brandon, it's Dan O'Dowd. You played with some really good players here. Did you know at that time they're going to turn out to be as good as they've been, including yourself?
Yeah, there were definitely a couple. My second, nice catch.
Yeah.
My second round of the fall league, because I was here 2 years, I played with Harper and Trout, so those guys turned out to be pretty good.
Did they turn out? Yeah, I think they did pretty well.
They ended up being all right. You could kind of tell at the time also. So, but yeah, I mean, there were a lot of good players that I played with. I think the first year I was there, I played with Gene Segura, where you could tell he had the tools to be a good, long major league player. Played with a couple future teammates, and Joe Panik and Darren Ruff. Through my time there, so you know, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, you could definitely tell the guys that had a pretty good chance.
Brandon, Jim Callis here. How much did the league help you develop as a player?
I mean, it's extra at bats, extra reps that a lot of guys aren't able to get in the minor league. So I think there's that, and I think just learning and seeing these players from around the league and kind of learning new things from them, or maybe a hitting coach that maybe could give you a tip or something like that could help you out. Just picking up new things from new people, I think was the biggest thing here.
We do have a new pitcher here, Josh Walker from the New York Mets. That's Zach Britton, left fielder for the Toronto Blue Jays, spending a little bit more time with Brandon Crawford of the San Francisco Giants. Brandon, your team had an unbelievable 2021. This season, it was a little bit up and down. How do you feel about going into 2023 as we're just fresh into the offseason as that ball gets away from the left fielder, Rhys Hines?
Yeah, I mean, coming off of 2021, obviously this year was disappointing for all of us. I mean, from a team standpoint, definitely. From an individual standpoint, for myself, kind of the same. So definitely looking forward to rebounding next year and seeing how we can respond to kind of a tough year as a team going into next year.
Well, Brandon, we appreciate the time. Enjoy the off season, the holiday season right around the corner, and thanks for you coming out as well as your family.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That's San Francisco Giants shortstop Brandon Crawford, and that's Zach Britton after the leadoff double. Ball got away from Rhys Hines there.
Do you think the shadows made that play a little bit difficult? Dan,
Yeah,
I mean, he had a long run, and it didn't look like he saw it.
It's
like
a tough play too, Jimmy. It's a left-handed, the ball slicing off the bat, running away from the glove.
Too.
Yeah, I think he had a bad read on it.
All right, so one out, and this is T.J. Rumfield.
I have to tell you, though, the play prior to that right fielder made an incredible play in right field when we were talking to Brandon. That was a great play.
Yeah, Pages got turned around a little bit, was able to recover.
That ball was smoked.
One out here in the top of the second. No score, 0-2 count to Rumfield. Josh Walker, big left-hander in the Mets organization. 6'6", 225. Fourth oldest player named to a Fall League opening day roster. 27 years old, Jim.
And we have a 28-year-old on the National League roster today too, and Spencer Bivens. But yeah, you see some older guys. Ages, you kind of have to look like at the underlying, with underlying factors, because with the COVID year, it just delayed development on a lot of guys.
Cole Keith sends one to left field. That will bring home Zach Britton, and it's another double here in the second. He thought about three. He's going to hustle back to second. RBI double for Cole Keith, and we're tied at 1.
Good piece of hitting there. Interesting kid, Jim. Body development-wise, he doesn't look like the same player I saw coming out of high school. He's got to be... I mean, coming out of high school, he's probably 180, 185. He's pushing now probably 240, 250. I mean, it's just, for me, almost jaw-dropping, the physical development I've seen.
No, I had the same reaction, Dan, when I saw him taking BP on media day at the start of the season. He was actually a really interesting two-way player out of Mississippi, an Arizona kid who moved to Mississippi. And obviously guys do develop, but I had the same reaction. He's so much bigger and thicker when I saw him, which, ideally you translate that into power. But at the same time, it costs you some speed and athleticism, too, and limits your defensive utility.
Ball gets away, goes all the way to the backstop, and that allows Colt Keith to head to third.
Didn't slide. This kid is a really good defensive catcher, but at that point in time, he didn't put his body in position to make that play whatsoever. For me, they'll probably give him a pass ball. That's a wild pitch, though, and that's a block he's going to have to make as his career matriculates.
And I think Millis is usually better than that, too.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is.
So this is Jason Dominguez.
You got to keep in mind, too, guys, that they haven't caught any of these pitchers. So, movement patterns, seeing the ball out of the hand for catchers, it's all different.
Take a look at the Fall League statistics for Jason Dominguez. And Dan, you say don't be fooled by those numbers.
Well, it's a short sample size.
That ball is smoked into the alley. That's going to be extra bases. Run will score. Dominguez headed to second, and it's an RBI double for the Yankees prospect, El Marciano.
I mean, that was right on cue, wasn't it? I said, don't be concerned about these numbers. Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, and these kids mentally and physically are a little tired. He's a really, really interesting. I think he's got a chance to be a special player. I hope the Yankees don't rush him. That ball's out over the plate. Look at that swing, Jim. Perfect rhythm and timing, got his foot down.
No, I mean, that looked really good. I don't think they're necessarily going to rush him. I mean, he's gotten to Double-A at 19. I would think he'd spend the whole year next year in 19. I mean, it's the Yankees, so they don't usually hand a position to a rookie pretty quickly anyway. You know, I think he's still 2 years away from New York, but, you know, it's tough to live up to the hype because he's probably the most hyped international prospect ever. And I know I always say that, and I'll blame myself too, because like I've had comps. He got comps to Bo Jackson and Mike Trout and Mickey Mantle.
That's really unfair to the kid.
It is.
But that's why his development needs to slow down.
Here's the 9-hole hitter, Steven Scott, the catcher.
Now that was a great block. A great block. Really interesting kid here. He's a Vanderbilt guy. Caught some, played left field, played a little first base. They've totally committed to him as a catcher now. Very good understanding of the strike zone and some serious power. Now he's just got to get the catching part of his game to catch up a little bit. But again, it's a position of need in our industry.
Yeah, 10th round pick in 2019 out of Vanderbilt by the Boston Red Sox. Grounder up the middle. Nice play by Nick Gonzalez. Throw over to first to Matt Mervis, and that retires the side. But 2 runs come across. And through an inning and a half, it's the American League leading the National League 2-1. Back with the bottom of the second after this.
The future is threatened by enemies often unseen and unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical, because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
A breakfast croissant plus seasoned potatoes for $3, and they're redshirting you?
It's just a standard work shirt.
Hey, way to stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reg.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast.
No, it has to be 5-star. It's my treat. I could get used to this.
Double chains and so many diamonds. It's the most we sell in the store.
Oh.
If they have your personal information, anyone can be you. Spectrum One keeps your personal data safe and private. That's privacy protection. That's Spectrum One.
History has been written and the numbers are in the books. Now, who are the best of the best? Baseball's award season starts right here on MLB Network. Who will win? Find out exclusively tomorrow, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. We have a new pitcher from the Seattle Mariners, Jorge Benitez, tied for the system lead with 14 saves across 2 levels of A-ball. What do we need to know about Jorge Benitez, Jim?
Yeah, he was a 9th-round pick out of high school in Puerto Rico in 2017. He works with a 89 to 93 mile-an-hour four-seamer. Changeup is his best secondary pitch. He'll mix in some slow curves, too. I think that was a changeup right there.
Fly ball just to shallow right field, and quickly there is 1 down for Jorge Benitez. As Noelvi Marte flies out to start the inning. That'll bring up Reese Hines, the left fielder, batting 7th.
This young man has just not been able to stay on the field. COVID really hurt him, and then he's had injuries. Tremendous power. Just needs to play.
I was going to say that exactly, Dan. I mean, he was as much raw power as anybody in that 2019 high school crop, but it was power over hit, and was he going to make enough contact? And between a quad injury, COVID, a torn meniscus in his knee, and this year a hamate fracture, he's never gotten a full season, and here he is, 4 years into his pro career.
Benitez is the second pitcher for the American League. Noah Denoyer started, went an inning, and now they bring in Benitez, the left-hander.
Just see guys like this at the big league level all the time, don't you, Roflo? Left-hander's got a little bit of funky slot. Probably difficult to pick up. Plays off his fastball well. That was a slider there.
Here's the 2-1. Chop foul, and it's 2-2. You mentioned the health problems for Rhys Hines. That it's really difficult, obviously, Dan, to evaluate what you have here when the player has had problems staying on the field.
You knew there was power over hit, and you knew there was going to take some time for him to find what I like to call the rhythm of the game in context of what he's capable of doing. There's just no substitution for competitive game at bats, and he's just has not had a lot to, attack some of his opportunities for improvement.
Slow roll it a short. Nice play by Ronnie Simon for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here for Jorge Benitez here at the bottom of the second.
Nice play. Rhys runs well for a big man, too. He got down the line really well there.
Here's the catcher, Drew Millis, batting 8th.
More of a defensive guy, Jimmy, over an offensive guy.
Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, I think he has a chance to be plus receiver, plus arm. He's more of I think, going to be an on-base guy than a big power guy. He controls the strike zone very well. He had some injuries too this year that held him back. He's hit better here in the fall league. He was in the fall league last year as well.
Nationals are acquiring a nice stockpile of catching, though. It's a great position to have a lot of depth in.
Millis was acquired in a trade with the Oakland A's for Josh Harrison and Yan Gomes at the deadline in 2021. He was originally a 7th-round draft pick by the Oakland A's in 2019.
Yeah,
He's ahead in the count 2-0 here.
And the Missouri State program is one of the best unheralded programs. They've produced about 15 big leaguers in the last 20, 25 years. A lot of pitchers, just a lot of quality
They're just
talent.
like a fountain of information.
I love them.
I mean, look at this, pulling out the Missouri State guys in the big leagues.
Dan, everybody knows my 2 favorite college programs are my alma mater, Georgia, which may or may not have won a football game yesterday. And then my second favorite baseball program might be Missouri State.
I did not know that, but now I do.
Now
the way you just spouted off those numbers of the Missouri State guys.
Benitez a strike away from working a very efficient second inning. Just his 12th pitch of the inning coming up right here.
I got this thought and theory, guys, on catching. I believe that it's a hanger-on position. I think if you're good enough defensively to get yourself to AAA, you're going to figure out a way to hit yourself to the big leagues. And then, it's funny, there's no age regression when it comes to this position. Guys catch in the big leagues late into their 30s.
Here's the 2-2. Sharply hit ball right up the middle. And it extends the inning. A clean single up the middle for Drew Millis. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter Nick Gonzalez from the Pittsburgh Pirates. 7th pick, number 7 pick in the draft out of New Mexico State. 5'10", 195.
Got a great approach to hit. Short, compact swing, uses the entire field. Backspins the ball well. I think the question, Jimmy, if I'm correct anyway, is kind of where does he profile defensively on the field?
Yeah, I don't think there's quite enough arm for the left side of the infield. I mean, I think second base is your best case scenario. And what's interesting is a lot of your big league second basemen are former shortstops. But the Pirates have invested 2 top 10 picks in recent years. Nick Gonzalez in 2020, Termarr Johnson this year, of 2 guys who probably profile best at second base. I bet you he winds up on an outfield corner when all is said and done. But he's going to have to hit more to do that.
Fouls that one back. He's behind in the count 0-2. Henry Davis from the Pittsburgh Pirates system, the former number 1 overall pick, is also here. We expect to see him at some point in the lineup. And speaking of the Pirates and their middle infield situation, at shortstop, they've got a freak in O'Neal Cruz at the big league level.
They do. I mean, there's
few inside. It's 1 and 2.
Few guys who can do all the things O'Neal can do, especially at his size. Although they've got a pretty good shortstop prospect coming up in Weaver Peguero, who may eventually push O'Neal Cruz to the outfield.
So where's Cruz going to play?
I think he'd fit real nicely in right field. Although I think he can also stage shortstop. But it's funny, you know, when O'Neal Cruz was coming up through the minors, everybody would say, can he really play shortstop at 6'7"? And every scout I've ever talked to is like, boy, he plays it a lot better than you would think a 6'7" guy could play shortstop.
Dan, he's he might, aside from Shohei Ohtani, he might be the most unique player in the game.
He's a unicorn. If he makes more consistent contact, he's got a chance to be a very exciting player.
2-2 pitch, and Nick Gonzalez swings and misses. Jorge Benitez gives up a hit in the inning, but no runs. Very good effort for the Seattle Mariner prospect. Gets his only strikeout of the inning. We'll be back in Mesa, Arizona after this.
Life is expensive. So why is Omar snoozing like a baby? Because he made the smart choice to shop with IKEA. With new benefits for IKEA family members, including 5% off all eligible purchases in store. Every visit, every day. IKEA.
Red Lobster's finer points of fun dining. How to endless shrimp. Step 1, greet your shrimp. Step 2, bid your shrimp farewell. Repeat. Ultimate endless shrimp is ending soon. It's now or next year. Welcome to fun dining.
Some things leave you guessing. MailChimp takes the guesswork out of email marketing by analyzing data from billions of emails to offer suggestions for how to improve engagement and revenue. Guess less and sell more with Intuit MailChimp.
At Lovesac, we design furniture for life, real life, messy life. Now, Lovesac Sactionals can be upgraded with Stealth Tech and immersive surround sound by Harman Kardon, upgradable, washable, and guaranteed for life at a Lovesac showroom near you.
This week is your chance to try any Subway footlong for free, like the Subway Series menu. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Free monsters, free bosses, any footlong for free. This guy loves a great offer, so let's see some hustle.
Make this worth your while, Peloton. All the classes and endless motivation to keep you coming back. That's why 91% of households that join Peloton are still active 12 months later. Motivation that moves you. Rent the Peloton Bike or Bike Plus. Terms apply.
Don't just clean it. Clean it. OxyClean Laundry and Home Sanitizer kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. And that feels... OxyClean Laundry and Home Sanitizer also kills the virus that causes COVID-19.
Welcome back to the Fall League All-Star Game. American League leading the National League 2-1. The American League is managed by Mickey Story. He was the manager for the Sugar Land Space Cowboys. That's a AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. He was a 31st round pick back in 2008 by the Oakland A's. Pitched 2 seasons in the bigs with the Astros and the Blue Jays, and Mickey joins us now here. Mickey, did the Big League Club do something last night, or what happened there?
You know, I fell asleep early, and I woke up this morning to a whole lot of congratulations, so I'm guessing they won. No, I'm kidding. I was tuned in, locked in. Exciting times. You know, it's been the golden age for the Houston Astros, and I can't be happier for some of those players I've got to share so many moments in minor leagues with, to see them on that stage holding that trophy and celebrate. Really cool stuff.
And Mickey, it's Dan O'Dowd. Just to follow up and jump in there, like congratulations, truly. How rewarding is that for you? Because your hands were on a lot of those kids as it came through the system. So from a development aspect, it's way more than just those guys. It's an entire organization that wins a World Series.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's, you know, like I said, we've had a really good run. There's been a lot of success in the organization, and you can't sustain that much success without a collective group of player development, scouting, and then good players. I was going through the roster, and obviously I've had extended amount of time with a lot of them. I think over 50% of the guys had played for me at some point in the minor leagues, and it honestly, like, they're really good players, but the one thing I can really vouch for within the Astros organization is a culture that's been created at the big league level, and how welcoming guys like Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman and Lance McCullers are when young players come over in spring training to back up and fill in games. They're super welcoming and accommodating, where and I'm not saying it's like this everywhere, but in my experience as a young player going to big leagues, I never felt that what I witness, you know, as a coach, seeing these veteran guys welcome young players over and bringing them in. And when they get a chance to play in the big leagues, if they do, it just makes the transition smoother and easier. And you see Jeremy Pena's just go in there and take care of business and not worry about, you know, oh, it's the big leagues, it's the bright lights. No, it's comfortable. These are my guys. I've known them for 3-4 years. So the culture is just one thing that I think people don't really realize from the outside looking in.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Justin Martinez.
Hey, Mickey, Jim Callis here. I was going to ask you about Jeremy Pena. Obviously, on your team last year, postseason hero this year, also an AFL vet. What do you remember about Jeremy Pena last year? I know he missed a lot of the year with an injury before he came back, and I think he went nuts power-wise, didn't he, when you guys got him back for the final 6 weeks?
Yeah, he went insane. Yeah, so he was going to break with us to go to AAA, and if you remember, we started the season. AAA started the season late. We did another alternate training site, and he went with us. He actually broke his wrist one of the last days at the alt site diving for a ball, and I'm managing an exhibition game in the alt site against the Rangers, and he goes on deck. And I get a you know, Abraham Toro from the dugout goes, hey, I think something's wrong with his wrist. So we took him out. He's a very, very tough kid. We didn't realize it was broke, and then it was broken. He was out the whole year. Fast forward, he comes at the end of the year and he just goes insane. What I remember most is his work ethic, his poise, everything we just saw on display that gave him, you know, the upper hand to succeed as a rookie in the playoffs and in the big leagues. Those were all things that were just oozing out of him as a young player in the minor leagues. Work ethic insane, routine insane. Baseball savvy, hunger, all the things that when you sit down in a room and you're trying to replace Carlos Correa and you're wondering what you have internally, all the things that you comfortably say, this is the guy.
Hey, Mickey, I was also going to say congratulations, I think, are also in order. I believe you guys have clinched first place, so we're going to see you next Saturday. How much are you guys looking forward to the championship game next Saturday?
Yeah, looking forward to it. As soon as I got all the congratulations for the World Series, I said, yeah, the Sags are up next. We got to take care of business, represent. No, it's a great time. It's a great experience. I got to play in this league. I wanted the opportunity to coach in it. When it got presented to me, I jumped in, you know, possibly could have, you know, been with the big league team as part of the taxi squad staff, but I wanted this opportunity for myself and to really change what I've been doing and meet some different players and meet some different coaches and kind of get in front of a room full of faces I had no familiarity with, and we've put together a pretty good fall right here, and we're looking to cap it off on Saturday in the championship game.
Yeah, the Saguaros have already clinched the top overall seed, and you will play in the championship Friday against the championship with the Scottsdale win Friday, and with 3 games to play, the other 5 teams are still mathematically still alive. So
yeah,
congratulations on the Astros and your part and the organization's part in winning the World Series title, and good luck the rest of the way here at the Arizona Fall League, and thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, guys.
That's Mickey Story, manager for the American League Fall Stars, and of course the manager for the AAA Sugarland Space Cowboys and the Houston Astros. So a 2-out walk for Kjerstad, and then Tyler Hardman, fly ball, who wants it? Andy Pajes wants it, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits. We're going to the bottom of the third. American League and the National League 2-1.
When I think about it.
What's the effect on the free agent market? A lot to think about today. We're asking you, the thinking fan.
When I think about
MLB Now, the baseball show for the thinking fan. Weekdays at 4 Eastern on MLB Network.
The chef's chicken sandwiches at Panera, freshly prepared with clean ingredients, spark an explosion of the senses. So when you finally taste it, it just confirms this is fantastic, and only at Panera. $1 delivery fee on our app.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Introducing Domino's new leftovers. It's the same delicious pizza you expect from Domino's, but instead of eating it all tonight, you save some for tomorrow. Sure, it's hot and melty and really delicious, but resist the temptation and you have Domino's leftovers. Domino's leftovers are delicious straight from the toaster oven. They're delicious straight from the skillet.
Who reheats cold pizza?
Right now, you can try Domino's leftovers yourself and you get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $6.99 each. Enjoy one tonight, love one tomorrow.
The future is threatened by enemies often unseen.
Stay alert, Marine.
And unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical, because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Get ready for what happens next. Go to MLB.com/tickets to explore 2023 ticket options today. Dan O'Dowd, Jim Callis, Robert Flores with you from Mesa, Arizona. New pitcher for the American League, Christian Chamberlain, another lefty. This one from the Kansas City Royals organization, 4th-round pick in 2020. In 2022, 72 strikeouts and 49 innings, Jim, between high A and double A.
Well, and I saw him in 2018 at the College World Series at Oregon State, win a national championship and set a record, tie a record, by striking out 11 in relief. So he misses bats. It's not a big velocity fastball, but it rides up in the strike zone, and then he beats you up with the fastball, and then has a curveball with really good depth. So it's a north-south approach.
Back to top of the order, Zach Veen for the National League. First at bat, he drew a walk and eventually came around to score. That's in for a strike. It's 0-2.
He's got some deception in his delivery.
Once again, Veen, the #1 prospect in the Colorado Rockies system.
And I think that power's a little late in time. He's got some swings issues he's going to have to figure out, but he's such a good hitter. I think the power's going to come a little later.
And you look at that body, there's room to put muscle on there too.
There's a strikeout for Christian Chamberlain. First batter he faces. Zach Veen goes down, and that's out #1. That'll bring up Jackson Merrill, shortstop in the San Diego Padres system.
That's a hole for a lot of left-hand hitters. That fastball up and in, right up underneath your hands. That's a hard pitch to get to. He's got long arms. It's incredible. You know, in our today's game, the vertical part of our game today, you really have to learn to hit the ball up.
As you see Merrill with a single in his first at bat.
I'll tell you that
down in the count 0-2 here.
The tempo of our pitchers today has been great. They're on the mound, they're working quick, they're pounding the strike zone. It's just really good to see.
Well, the pitch clock in effect here, Dan, which is something that we're going to see at the big league level in 2023.
Robert, I think it's going to make quite a difference.
I think you're right.
I mean, can't you just feel the crispness of the game? I think it's going to make defense better. I think the whole quality of that bats is going to be better.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about here. Between pitches with the bases empty, you got 15 seconds. When you got runners on, you got 20.
15 seconds is not a long time. You're going to have to get it and go.
Also bigger bases, which is something that will be used at the big league level. There's a look at the pitch clock right there.
And I've seen the pitch clock out here for years. I don't know what year they first used it, and they've experimented.
There's another strikeout for Christian Chamberlain. Back-to-back Ks to open the inning.
That was the breaking ball there. Got him with the breaking ball there. But guys adjust to the pitch clock very quickly out here. You know, is it different? Yes, but there's pitch clocks.
I think it's going to be harder at the big league level, though, Jim. I think it's going to be harder on the hitters more than the pitchers, honestly.
Well, and again, it's a crisper game when guys can't get out and fiddle with their batting gloves after every
just flush
pitch.
a bad approach.
Here's the right fielder, Andy Pajes.
Ooh, that's a good pitch right there. When you can throw a first pitch breaking ball for a strike like that, it just opens up so many different things for you.
Sac fly RBI in his first AB.
Just touching about the pitch clock back for a second, Dan. I'm also curious to see what's going to do with velocity, because you're not going to have relievers getting 30 seconds to gather themselves on the mound to throw with max intent.
Yeah, good point.
Every pitch. And I think that may actually help increase offense, maybe even more than the anti-shift rule.
That ball smoked to left, get up, and it's foul. Man, I had a cool home run call. I was ready to.
You did, Robert. You were right there on it.
Dang it.
Hey, he made a mistake here. That's a center cut fastball. Oof. He just got a little too quick to it.
But he gets him to swing and miss, and it's 3 up, 3 down for Chamberlain. 3 strikeouts in the inning. Still 2-1. The American League leading the National League here in Mesa. Back after this.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
Denoyer's canceling. You're being too loud. Good choice. My lucky number.
Plus, earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. What's in your wallet?
Life is expensive. So why is Omar snoozing like a baby? Because he made the smart choice to shop with IKEA. With new benefits for IKEA family members, including 5% off all eligible purchases in store. Every visit, every day. IKEA.
The chef's chicken sandwiches at Panera, freshly prepared with clean ingredients, spark an explosion of the senses. So when you finally taste it, it just confirms this is fantastic. And only at Panera. $1 delivery fee on our app.
During fire pit season, we don't waste any time at all. When we get back together, it's like we never left. Maybe it's the way a crackling fire in a solo stove makes you feel. Or maybe it's that being together again feels like home. Either way, we know the best memories are made together. Save $10 using promo code TV10 at solostove.com.
Covering baseball's off-season is serious business.
So why would you close our flight to Chicago? I'd give them a real answer.
When sniffing out trades and free agency, these guys are in mid-off-season form.
Oh no, Matt. Something's fishy. And it sure ain't Marlin.
Think this guy'll talk?
Until the sun shines on spring training, this stove is always hot. Hot Stove, weekday mornings, 9 Eastern on MLB Network.
Watch the blockbuster deals that will change everything for the new year. MLB Network's off-season coverage has an all-star lineup. The 2023 season starts this week on MLB Network.
Yeah, well, we had a good time talking to Mickey Story in the top of the third, but we overshadowed what Justin Martinez did on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Just a filthy upper 80s splitter. Struck out Simon, struck out Julian. Very impressive. Also up to 99, sat 97, 99 from whole inning. So we've talked about a number of guys who don't overpower you. Justin Martinez can overpower you, and we saw that.
Think about his separation of speed between that fastball and that split. That's really challenging for a hitter.
New pitcher for the National League, Christian Hernandez of the Philadelphia Phillies system. Dealing with 5, 6, and 7 due up here in the top of the fourth, starting with Zach Britton, who doubled in his first time at bat. Take a look at the numbers for Christian Hernandez. In the Arizona Fall League, 2-0, ERA under 1. 11-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Seems good.
He'll usually work 93, 95, around 80, 81 with the breaking ball. 2-pitch reliever for the most part.
Obviously, there's a pitcher by the name of Zach Britton for the New York Yankees. He spells his name with a K. This Zach Britton with the Blue Jays in their system spells it his first name with an H.
Do you think that's why the pitcher corrected the spelling? Because he went with the H for a long time before he changed it again. So maybe he saw this guy coming. He's like, you know what? Even though I'm the big leaguer, I'll let the kid have the H and I'll take the K. It fits better, you know, H for hitter, K for pitcher.
Ooh, nasty pitch there. Evens the count at 2-2. Isn't there there's Max Muncy from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and there's a Max Muncy in the A's system, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, prospect, infielder.
Yep. It's not too dissimilar from Max Muncy, the big leaguer.
Here's the 2-2. Misses up.
You know, as we see all these relievers run out here today, and you look at the number of relievers that we used at the big league level, it's really not hard to project you're going to see most of these guys next year at some point in time at the big league level. And the development of relievers has taken on a whole different connotation in our game. Pretty much anybody from the AA level on up is in play anymore within our game. And you're really being developed with 2 pitches. And the analytics have changed so much of their ability to maximize the 2 pitches that they throw and the shape and the form and how they throw them out of the same arm slot to get the tunneling effect. It's really been incredible, the evolution over the last few years.
And the fall league really is a proving ground for a lot of these relievers too. They come here, teams will make 40-man decisions based on how guys perform. Guys could get Rule 5 based on how they perform out here.
I mean, look at this. I mean, this is a big league pitch right here. A little cutter. He's thrown 2 cutters there. Not a true slider, a little bit more of a cutter, short, quick, and in a left-hand hitter's hand.
That'll bring up TJ Rumfield. First baseman in the Yankee system. Struck out his first time at bat. Slaps that one through, and that will get past the second baseman Gonzalez, and it's a single for Rumfield.
Nice easy swing there. He just kind of...
It's a breaking ball. Stayed on it. Didn't try to do too much with it. See?
Yeah.
That same little cutter.
Here's Colt Keith, the designated hitter. He doubled in his first at bat. Obviously in the Detroit Tigers system. That's in for a strike. It's 0-1.
Double to left field. Jim, you talked about shadows. You talked about, infielder transitioning to the outfield in Reese Hines.
Yep.
Now, Jim, in our notes, Colt Keith is listed at 211.
Take the over on that one.
Yeah, he is not 211. He is a stout young man. I believe he's closer to 245.
Yeah, we had a story on him. I'm going to find this while we're talking here. Where he talked about what he actually talked about his weight on media day.
And he's down. It's another strikeout for Christian Hernandez, and there's 2 outs here in the 4th. Now to bring up Jason Dominguez. This is what he did in his first time at bat.
Smoked it. Now we get to see him from the left side of the plate. That was a beautiful swing, Robert. Absolutely beautiful. Picture perfect.
That was off the Mets lefty Josh Walker. Now he's dealing with Christian Hernandez, the righty. Chops that one foul. It's 0-1.
So, Jimmy, you've seen him play defensively. Can he stay in center?
It's weird because he runs well, and I've seen him make some really nice plays, and I've also seen him misplay some balls. He dropped the ball in the Futures game. He's made some miscues out here. I think it just goes back to what you were talking about earlier. I just think he's a young guy, and he just needs reps.
But from a tool standpoint.
From a tool standpoint, he can definitely run well enough to play center.
Well, he's got the best nickname maybe in all of baseball, El Marciano, the Martian. Signed for over $5 million by the New York Yankees back in 2019. Obviously a switch hitter. His rookie card is going for an astronomical amount of money.
I thought you bought that.
I mean, I have to get a raise soon in order to accommodate in order to afford that.
You told me you financed it over the next 20 years.
Well, that's true. Yes, I am looking into financing that purchase as a nice little nest egg. 2-2 count. Christian Hernandez has struck out 2 batters. Would love to add a third. Runner at first. That ball sent deep to right, but well foul.
I mean, it's good at bat. These were borderline pitches. He didn't chase. Again, and I really look at walks to strikeouts, on base percentage when player's young. He got pushed to a higher level as the year went along. He held his own.
Yeah, he went from low A to high A and spent the last week or so in double A before he came here. And I feel like this league's kind of roughly equivalent to double A.
Fly ball, center field. Zach Veen settles underneath. And that will retire the side. Good inning for Christian Hernandez. 2 strikeouts and a flyout. That retires the side. We're going to the bottom of the 4th after this.
There are 2 kinds of bourbon drinkers. Those who put it on a pedestal and those who put it within reach. If you'd rather add rocks to your glass than bourbon to your collection, there's Evan Williams 1783. An award-winning small batch that's extra aged, 90 proof, and easy to enjoy, with or without friends. What can we say? You're our kind of people. Evan Williams 1783 small batch. When bourbon's done right, people notice.
Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean with odor blasters. Triple power action blasts away stains and obliterates odors for long-lasting freshness. More power to you.
When you have a homeowner's claim, you contact your insurance company first, right? Wrong. Whether it's an everyday problem or massive loss, visit stormclaim.com immediately. Step 1, their public adjusters do a full inspection as well as a review of your policy. Step 2, their team will initiate a new claim or reopen an unsatisfied claim. Step 3, get paid the amount you deserve. Then connect with one of their experienced contractors. Don't face the storm alone. Visit stormclaim.com today.
Meet the team that brought 1,199 new holiday faves to Aldi.
Gary, team leader. I lead the team.
Mabel, imports.
Stop eating all the merch.
You stop eating the merch.
Brian, I sprinkle low price dust with expert precision.
He gets it everywhere.
Sam, I specialize in rolls.
How are the rolls?
Fluffy.
Ronnie, and my job is to look good.
Oh, endless wonder. Unbelievable savings. It's an Aldi thing.
Back here in Mesa, Arizona, it's bottom of the fourth in the Fall League All-Stars game. Managing the National League Fall Stars, Reid Brignac in the New York Mets system, made his managerial debut in 2021 in St. Lucie, and then was moved up to be the manager at AA for 2022. Reid, this is Robert Flores. How are you?
Hey, Robert, I'm doing well.
Hey,
Thanks
we just were reading the news reports about Edwin Diaz, the big contract, $102 million. Did you hear about that?
I did not. That's great.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that's going to have to come out of your salary. I mean, so, you know.
I think Steve can afford that one.
What's your experience been like here in Arizona?
It's been great. You know, the future of our game is very bright. You know, the players here have been fantastic. They worked hard this whole time so far. You know, it's late in the season, and there's a lot of at-bats and a lot of game played, but, you know, they're still competing hard, and love to see it.
Hey, Reid, it's Dan O'Dowd. I don't think many of our viewers realized how good a player you were, how great a defensive player you were. So I'm just really curious about your transitioning from the field to do what you're doing right now, and the change in the game from when you played the game to how it needs to be taught now.
Yeah, you know, there's definitely some different dynamics to today's game, you know, with the analytics, the data, all the information that we get now, right? It's good, you know, for the coaches to be able to process the information and make it easy for the players to obtain and use and put it into their game. It's been great.
Reid, Jim Callis here. I want to ask you about one of the players you've had on the Javelinas this year, one of the younger guys in the league, Jackson Merrill, also one of the most impressive young hitters in the league and that I've seen in a while. We were talking about him after his hit in the first inning. What has he shown you, especially offensively?
Offensively, he's played very well so far. He's done a great job of controlling the strike zone. Swing and miss in the zone is down. He's putting the ball forward when he gets good pitches to hit, and you know, he has quality at bats in and out. You know, for a 19-year-old young man to demonstrate the plate discipline that he's shown, especially in this league where there's older players and, you know, guys have a better idea of what they're doing with the ball. For him to be able to control the strike zone and when he puts it in play, it's hit pretty hard.
Well, Reid, we appreciate you joining us. Congratulations on all your success. Enjoy the rest of the Arizona experience and enjoy your offseason.
All right. Thanks, guys, for having me.
That's the National League manager, Reid Brignac. Mason Hickman has been making quick work of his National League lineup
he's
here.
A strike throwing machine.
Yeah, a quick 3 up, 3 down as Marte flies out to short. We're through 4. American League leading the National League 2-1.
It may be the off season, but there's no off switch for the Mad Dog.
The winner has arrived, but we come out today with a bang.
High Heat with Christopher Russo, always on full blast. Weekdays at 1 Eastern on MLB Network.
The future is threatened by enemies often unseen and unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical, because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Get a free Doritos Locos Tacos only on the app now by signing up for Taco Bell Rewards. And join our fans as they use Kyle Schwarber's World Series steal to run up the score on free tacos. Steal the base, steal a taco.
Brought your baseball glove to basketball practice that turned out to be football practice? Game on, junk sleep. During Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $700 on select mattresses. Plus, get a free adjustable base. Shop now at Mattress Firm.
A breakfast croissant plus seasoned potatoes for $3, and they're red shirting you?
It's just a standard work shirt.
Hey, Way to stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reg. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Catch more live November baseball right here on MLB Network with the Arizona Fall League Championship game. Watch baseball's hottest prospects duel for the Desert Crown. It comes your way this coming Saturday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on MLB Network. We, of course, are at the Arizona Fall League All-Star Game, and a new pitcher for the National League, Tyler Myrick. 6 foot, 205 pound in the San Francisco Giants system. 12th round pick in 2019 out of Miami-Dade College. Number 30 prospect in their system, Jim.
Yeah, he's a mid-90s fastball, upper 80s slider. Came back from Tommy John in college. He's going to go right after hitters here.
We're here in the 5th inning. Very quick work here by a lot of the pitchers. 2-1 score here. American League leading the National League. First time that we've had in this Fall League All-Star game, National League versus the American League. And I like that they're wearing the uniforms of their big league clubs.
Yeah, I agree, Roflo. It really gives the game a really nice flavor.
And I like them mixing it with the AFL caps. The AFL has some cool logos, some cool team names out here, so it's a nice look.
So Tyler Myrick dealing with the 9-hole hitter, the catcher, Steven Scott. Grounded out to second base in his first at bat. Here he's run it full to 3-2 on Tyler Myrick. Here's the payoff pitch, and we'll do it again.
He's an offensive-minded catcher. I think he's got a chance to be an offensive-minded backup. Didn't catch a lot at Vanderbilt, but was part of that 2019 championship team, as was Mason Hickman, who we saw pitch last inning very effectively for the AL club.
Here's another payoff pitch, and he draws a walk. So the leadoff walk here issued by Tyler Myrick to start the 5th inning. Go back to the top of the order, bring up Ronnie Simon, the shortstop. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout.
He's kind of been the breakout prospect down here. He's leading the league in RBIs. He's hitting .320 with 3 homers. He's really played well, and he's played a nice shortstop, too.
And sends one to right, caught by the right fielder Pajes, and there's one away. Yeah, Simon with his 3rd organization. He was traded from Arizona to Tampa Bay for Jordan Luplow. So 1 out here in the 5th inning. That'll bring up Edouard Julien.
Jimmy, where does Julien profile the best?
Realistically, he might be more outfielder than infielder.
Young man out of Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, I think he's more of a corner guy. He's kind of one of those in-between guys as a defender. I don't think he's quite quick enough to play in the middle infield. He doesn't really have the arm to play third base. So I think you're realistically looking at first base, left field. It puts more pressure on the bat. But, you know, as we've noted, having a great fall league and tremendous approach at the plate, he gets a lot out of his ability.
Led the minors in walks in 2021 with 110.
He's leading the fall league with 20 walks so far this year in 19 games.
He's ahead in the count, 2-1. 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. So Dan, with this small sample size, how do you evaluate the numbers that come out of the Arizona Fall League?
Well, I mean, you don't discard him completely, Robert, but every kid is out here working at something in his development plan. So I think you're trying to look for incremental improvement. You know, development is just adding on one layer after another layer after another layer. And so, I mean, you love to have your players come out here and have dominant years, but if they don't, you're still looking for their incremental improvement.
And I think, too, because the hitters are so far ahead of the pitchers, you see a lot of guys with big offensive numbers. When I look at guys out here, Dan, I look more at the tools, how easy they're doing what they're doing out here. And if I'm looking at a number, it's really how well they're controlling the strike zone as a hitter or a pitcher, more so than, oh, the guy played 20 games and he hit 380 or he
You're looking
hit
at the quality of their passes at the plate. And pitchers, you're looking at the development of another pitch, or, you know, are they out here working on something specifically from a strike throwing standpoint? And again, it is a small sample size.
Meantime, Myrick has issued 2 walks, and one of them might come around to score. As Kjerstad singles to right, Scott will come around to score. And the American League extends their lead to 3-1. 2 walks issued in the inning by Myrick, and Kjerstad makes him pay. Three to 1 in the 5th inning with just 1 out.
He's got a fastball there, 95 miles an hour, kind of caught the middle of the plate. Mervis couldn't quite get to it.
That'll bring up Tyler Hardman. Chopper, pitcher can't make the play. Jackson Merrill, wild throw, but Matt Mervis bails him out with a nice tag at first. And that's a big out, number 2. Julian will go to 3rd. Kjerstad will go to 2nd.
See that play right there, the bigger bases helps potentially avoid a catastrophic injury, because he was able to go on that side of the base at all. It allowed to avoiding a collision. That's a really, really dangerous play for a first baseman.
That was a nice scoop there by Millis to save a run on the next pitch. Well, what about Dan? Why not go to the double bag at first base? You for that, against that? Then you don't have to worry about the runner running in the lane. I hate that rule.
Yeah, it's just, you know, a double bag, you really do start creating some other issues, unintended consequences, I think, with that too. I'm open to listen to anything in our game that I think is going to, 1, make safety a priority for players. Number 2, increase offense in any way possible.
Here's Zach Britton. He has singled, he has struck out, and he has scored. And he's ahead in the count, 3-0. Myrick having some control issues here in this inning.
He's struggled to throw strikes. He's gotten a lot of down counts. The hitter's getting in plus counts as it makes hitting so much easier. The numbers are incredible when you're sitting in a plus count to hit.
Here's the 3-0, and that's in for a strike.
So far, that over-under on the bet you guys were talking about, I think you're going to lose some money.
What was it, 13.5 was our unofficial over-under?
You guys better get going here.
Myrick, a 14th round pick in 2021 from Florida International University, and he issues another walk, and now the bases are loaded. We'll bring up from the New York Yankees system, TJ Rumfield.
And he's a guy who probably his best attribute as a hitter is his disciplined approach at the plate. So he's not going to help Myrick out if Myrick can't get closer to the plate with his pitches.
Drew Millis, the catcher, talking with his pitcher Tyler Myrick, trying to get him to navigate his way out of this jam here with 2 outs. I like the bat flip from Zach Britton on the walk.
I think you really wanted to hit there.
So here's Rumfield. No place to put him. Good start for Myrick. Fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Rumfield 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. Impressive young man. 6'5", 225. Big lefty. Looks at a ball inside. It's 1-1.
You know, right now I'm looking at our infield right now, and it's incredible because you've got to have both feet on the dirt. And so right now with the left-hand hitter, he pulled the base hit his first time up. They'd be shaded way over to the 4-hole, way deep on the grass.
Good point, Dan.
And so it just, as you watch the game from this vantage point, you see how the rule changes are going to open up so many opportunities if left-hand hitters simply just put the ball in play on a more consistent basis.
My question is, when you have less shifting, is that going to just encourage the guys who are gearing up trying to jack the ball out of the park to do so even more?
Okay, explain that. I don't understand that thought process behind the question, because if you get rewarded for putting the ball in play more. Why would that lead to guys trying to hit more home runs?
Because now you don't have 3 guys on that side of the field, so you're not worried about pulling the ball in the shift. I just think it's harder to hit now than it ever has been. And I'm not convinced the shift is going to help guys make more contact. It may stop you from getting robbed if you pull the ball. You won't have 3 infielders on that side.
We'll pick that up when we come back.
Absolutely. Tyler Myrick works his way out of trouble. A run does score. American League extending their lead 3-1. We're going to the bottom of the 5th after this.
My relationship with my credit cards wasn't good. I got into debt in college, and no matter how much I paid, it followed me everywhere. Between the high interest, the fees, I felt trapped. So I broke up with my credit card debt and consolidated it into a low-rate personal loan from SoFi. I finally feel like a grown-up.
Break up with bad credit card debt. Get a personal loan with no fees, low fixed rates, and borrow up to $100K. Go to SoFi.com to view your rate. SoFi, get your money right.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees are another reason banking with Capital One is an even easier decision than this.
We need a clutch hit. Derek. Jeter.
Hang in there, rookie. Yep, even easier than that. What's in your...
Nonsense. It's something every small business deals with, but Spectrum Business has perfected no nonsense. When it comes to business internet and phone, you get the best value and no surprise fees like those other guys charge. Like this modem fee or cost assessment charge. Nonsense. Fast, reliable Internet Ultra at 600 megabits per second for $49.99 per month, plus business phone for $19.99 per month. So just call 833-944-2425. Questions?
Is there a contract?
No. Contracts are nonsense. They'll even buy you out of the contract you're in right now. Get 600 meg Internet Ultra for only $49.99 per month, plus business phone for $19.99 per month. And no nonsense. No nonsense is here today. Call 833-944-2425 and make the switch today.
Welcome back to Mesa, Arizona. Dan O'Dowd, Jim Callis, Robert Flores. Here's some of the rules, the rule changes, some of the unique rules that are in play for the Fall Star game. 15-second timer with the bases empty. We talked about the shift, the bigger bases. Let's bring in Chuck Fox. He's the director for the Arizona Fall League, and he joins us now. Chuck, thanks for the time. What do fans need to know about these rules? Because we are going to be seeing some of them, most of them, at the big league level in 2023. What has been your experience with these rules?
Well, I mean, I think always the Arizona Fall League is the think tank of Major League Baseball. It gives us an opportunity to try some new ideas, experiment, with some rules, and obviously having some of the best prospects in all of minor league baseball to work with us on that. It's been very positive across the board. Players like it. I think the fans like it. Been very positive so far.
Hey, Chuck, it's following up on that. It's Dan O'Dowd. Was there any rule that you saw this year that really jumped out that you thought increased the quality of play on the field?
I think the appeal with the automatic balls and strike, I think it was really fun for the fans. I think it really brought them into the game, was exciting, and I think was very well received across the board.
Chuck, Jim Callis here. What I also liked about that when they were, which we saw at Salt River, is it was quick. It wasn't like, hey, it's going to be 3 minutes. The guy's going to go look under the hood. They put the graphic up on the scoreboard. You see the pitch come in on the graphic. And, also there's not a laborious appeal process. The hitter, the pitcher, or the catcher appeal really quick. And it seemed like less than a minute we have an answer.
Yeah, great point, Jim. It was really, you almost didn't notice it. Went up on the board and was, just blended in very well. Again, another element to really make the fan experience more enjoyable.
And Chuck, we mentioned in our open that there's a very good chance the way the direction of the league and the way the game is played that some of these players could have an impact very quickly at the big league level.
Absolutely. I think especially in the position side, ton of great position players. Obviously your top prospect list, but I think the interesting thing about this year, a lot of great stories, a lot of guys coming coming back from injuries, a lot of non-drafted guys who've just come on the scene. So obviously every organization has a different game plan and who they send here, but a lot of great stories this year to come out of the Fall League.
Chuck, I'm a big fan of the Arizona Fall League. I'm always telling people you got to check out the Arizona Fall League. It's like spring training without the crowds. It's all the best parts of spring training. One of the things I think is interesting that you guys did this year, and I'm curious the thinking behind it, is instead of having the two divisions and the two division champions play, in the game we'll televise next Saturday, there's a play-in. There's 6 teams. There's one division. We know Surprise has already clinched first place. So they're in it. But the second and third place teams will play in a play-in game on Friday to go to the championship game on Saturday. What was the genesis of that change?
Well, I think we just wanted to keep the fans in it, cheering for their, home-time Fall League team. I think also to keep the players, excited about being here. I think sometimes in a two-division system, one team gets hot early on, and it just, it's a runaway. So I think we got it right. I think you have really 5 of the 6 still mathematically eligible to be playing Friday. So it's been a good initiative. Fans have loved it. Gives us an interesting spin on the All-Star game, American against National League. So just an initiative we wanted to try, but again, for the fans and to make things competitive and keep everybody's interest, down the stretch here into the last week of the fall season.
Chuck, we appreciate the time. Thank you for the hospitality. Enjoy the rest of the season, and good luck on the championship season series and festivities next weekend.
Appreciate it. Thanks for being here, guys.
You got it. That's Chuck Fox, director of the Arizona Fall League. And this is Nick Gonzalez. That ball will find the seats, and we'll do it again. It's 0-2. So just to recap, Reese Hines started the inning with a single to left. He was erased on a fielder's choice from Drew Millis. So Millis is at first. Nick Gonzalez is at the plate, the 9-hole hitter, facing Tyler Madison. Another pitcher for the American League out of the Tigers system, 4th-round pick in 2021 from Bryant University. That ball sent deep to right center field. It'll hop against the wall. Rounding third, headed for home is Millis. It's an RBI double for Nick Gonzalez. That's that short stroke you were talking about, Dan.
Yeah, it's a beautiful strike. 2-strike swing, too. Stayed right on the ball, didn't try to do much. And, Jim, that's where I get encouraged. When you see that kind of backspin, oppo, right center field power, not hard to project that this kid's going to have double digits home runs someday.
No, I mean, that's why he was the number 7 overall pick in the draft in 2020. I believe he's one of maybe 2 players who've led NCAA Division I in hitting one year and home runs the next. I mean, he was a pretty complete package in college.
So was that factored into ballpark factors or where he played too?
Well, it did, but I was going to say in between, he was MVP in the Cape Cod League with wood bats against better competition.
That's good.
Yeah, playing in New Mexico, will help your numbers, but he proved himself with wood bats in between.
We'll see if Zach can shorten up his swing a little bit in this at bat.
Now Gonzalez was lifted for a pinch runner, Jose Salas, out of the Miami Marlins system. He is going to be the pinch runner at second base as we go back to the top of the order for Zach Veen.
Let's go, 13.
3-2 game here, bottom 5. Tying run in scoring position. Veen has walked and struck out. He did come around to score after the walk. Fouls that one back.
That's a good swing right there.
Madison pitched in 27 games this season. As you take another look at Gonzalez.
Yeah, great swing. That's a slider off the plate. Stayed right down on the ball. Stayed through it exceptionally well.
Here's the 1-2. This is high. It's 2-2. That misses low. Ball gets away. Salas headed to third.
That's a great dirt ball read right there. Really good base runner. Put himself in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Got tied a game up if Zach can put the ball in play. Those are the little things that I look at, to see if he's a winning player. That's great baseball awareness. Didn't hesitate as soon as that ball hit the dirt.
So Salas, the pinch runner, at third, less than 2 down. Payoff pitch. Fly ball, that's going to find the seats in left, and
watch his second shuffle, 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 shuffle. Go, very good.
Well, Salas is a guy who grew up around the game. He's got a father and grandfather and uncle who all play professionally in Latin America. So he's one of those guys. I mean, uncanny how all those guys seem to have great instincts, but they do.
And it's another walk for Zach Veen, his second of the game.
You know, I think that's an under-talked about tool when we talk about tools with players is baseball awareness. I think aptitude and baseball awareness are the 2 key issues if a player's ever going to bridge the gap between his potential and his actual performance on the field. And I think it's one thing it's difficult to measure, but the organizations that do that well are the better organizations.
That ball gets away. Veen will head to second while Salas will stay at third.
You can see where he's still a work in progress defensively behind the plate. He's going to need to catch a lot. It's just that's a position of a lot of repetitions, from catching guys in the pen to working on your blocking drills. It's just doing it over and over and over again.
Of course, referring to Steven Scott.
Bringing the infield in here. Wow.
They had it in before, too.
Now you got second and third, though, bringing it in.
Fly ball, high fly ball, shallow left field.
That's a problem. No one sees that.
Who wants it? No one gets it. Salas will score. Veen goes to third.
You know, Robert, that is really interesting play. That's one of the, when you bring the infield in, when you're playing that deep in left field, and we'll see this again, that ball kind of falls into a gap of no man's land because there's no way the shortstop's going to get back there from the depth of being infield in. They're playing the left fielder 2 steps from the warning track. As soon as this ball goes up, look at, there is no one who has a chance to make this play.
You also got the sun, the high sun, the high sky, the shadows. There was a whole lot involved there.
And he's saying, I can't see it. You see that, Jim? He's saying, I don't see it.
Well, we were talking to Jordan Walker before the game, and he was talking about how the skies are very high here, and that is true. You see, it's a high sky. There's no clouds in a lot of these parks, and you can see a lot of adventures on fly balls you don't see other places.
All right, we have another pinch. Did that ball hit him? Or is that calling it a foul ball? I think they're calling it a foul ball.
See, now, I got a question why Zach is still standing on third base, and he didn't score.
Let's go, Paul Hess.
I think he didn't think that was going to
fall.
Yeah.
All right, so a tie game at
the runner ahead of him also waited too.
Yeah, but he should be. I mean, he's not tagging on that ball.
True.
So he's 3/4 of the way to third base. No way he's going to get doubled up, having a shortstop dive and leave his feet to make that play.
We have some more lineup changes and another pinch runner, Mason Wynn, out of the St. Louis Cardinals. Their highly regarded prospect is pinch running at second, as this is Andy Pajes. Here's the play you're talking about. Well, this is the...
He's tagging at second base. That's just not a play you tag on.
I think he was deked by the left. He saw the left fielder put his hand up, and it looked like he thought he was catching it.
I got you, but when you're but you're on second, you look where outfielders are playing, and you know that there's no way he's getting to that ball where he was positioned.
But when he saw the left fielder's hand go up, Veen immediately went. When Reese Hines put his hand up,
it just
not Reese Hines, but
again, talk about awareness of the game. That cost them a run. So he punches out. That makes it 2 out. So now you got to get 2 out knock to be able to score that run.
But at least they got your favorite hitter in the whole game.
Absolutely,
to possibly do
no
that.
doubt.
Jordan Walker is going to take him off the hook for you, Dan, or at least try to.
So Pajes strikes out, and with 2 down, that'll bring up Jordan Walker. He's 0 for 2. He is flied out and grounded out. Runners at second and third. Zach Veen is at third, and the pinch runner Mason Wynn is at second. 2 runs already in. That ball sent deep to right field, sending back the right fielder Kjerstad, and he can't make the play. It hops over the fence. 2 runs will score. And Jordan Walker has an RBI double, as the National League take a 5-3 lead over the American League here in the bottom of the 5th. There's that hit tool you've been talking about.
Yeah, and again, Jimmy stays inside the ball, takes the ball away, stays inside and drives it to right field. That's a home run in a lot of ballparks at the major league level. So he stays through the ball so exceptionally well. I think he thought he clicked that when he hit it off the bat. It sounded like it.
Well, if we didn't have like the Wrigley Field configuration where it ducks out down the line, he might have. But yeah, he's fun to watch.
It's just a different sound of the ball coming off the bat.
There's that, and like I was talking about earlier, he's not trying too hard. He's not muscling up.
It's an easy
swing, and the ball almost goes out of the park to the opposite field.
All right, we have a pitching change. We'll get the situation all sorted out for you when we come back.
Get a free Doritos Locos Tacos only on the app now by signing up for Taco Bell Rewards. And join our fans as they use Kyle Schwarber's World Series steal to run up the score on free tacos. Steal a base, steal a taco.
I had a bad relationship with my student loan. The interest was costing me, well, us, a fortune.
No matter how much we paid, it was always just there, you know?
So, I broke up with my bad student loan debt and refinanced with SoFi.
Turns out we could save thousands.
Break up with bad student loan debt and refi with SoFi. You could save thousands and pay no fees. Go to SoFi.com to view your rate. SoFi, get your money right.
Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean with odor blasters. Triple power action blasts away stains and obliterates odors for long-lasting freshness. More power to you.
There are two kinds of bourbon drinkers. Those who put it on a pedestal and those who put it within reach. If you'd rather add rocks to your glass than bourbon to your collection, there's Evan Williams 1783. An award-winning small batch that's extra aged, 90 proof, and easy to enjoy, with or without friends. What can we say? You're our kind of people. Evan Williams 1783 small batch. When bourbon's done right, people notice.
This week is your chance to try any Subway footlong for free. Like the Subway Series menu. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Free Monsters, free Bosses, any footlong for free. This guy loves a great offer, so let's see some hustle.
With the 21st pick of the 2020 MLB Draft, the St. Louis Cardinals select Jordan Walker.
I mean, if you want to really look and dream a little bit, there's a little bit Dave Winfield in there, too. I mean,
wow.
So I think this is a very special player and a special person that they got.
And we saw some of that power on display just a few moments ago as Jordan Walker plates two with a RBI double. And the National League takes a 5-3 lead. New pitcher for the American League is Antonio Menendez, and we'll talk about him shortly. But Dan, Dave Winfield comp for Jordan Walker.
Yeah,
that's quite a comparison.
I was dreaming a little bit on that one, but you know, there's similar body types there.
Matt Mervis smokes one to left center field, and it is out of here.
I should have taken the over.
Two-run homer by Matt Mervis. And the National League has exploded here in the fifth inning. 7-3.
Jimmy, that's a bomb to left center. When a left-hand hitter can do that, that shows you they have legitimate power.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that might be your Cubs first baseman in 2023. He's leading the league in home runs. He's got 6. He played well high A, double A, triple A this year.
And just look at this swing, though. I mean, that's a breaking ball away that he went and got. And again, another swing that was really under control, just like Walker on the bat before that. That wasn't a whole lot of effort in that swing.
No, and Antonio Menendez knew as soon as it left the bat that it was gone.
That'll bring up Noelvi Marte, who will fly out and foul ground, and that will retire the side. But what an inning for the National League. 6 runs come across, including this 2-run bomb from never nervous Matt Mervis.
Never nervous.
History has been written, and the numbers are in the books. Now, who are the best of the best? Baseball's award season starts right here on MLB Network, featuring some of baseball's biggest honors, including the BBWAA Awards, Rookies of the Year, Managers of the Year, the Cy Young winners, and both MVPs. Who will win? Find out exclusively on MLB Network. It all begins Monday at 6 Eastern.
The future is threatened by enemies often unseen and unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical, because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Get a free Doritos Locos Tacos only on the app now by signing up for Taco Bell Rewards. And join our fans as they use Kyle Schwarber's World Series steal to run up the score on free tacos. Steal the base, steal a taco.
The World Baseball Classic is back and exclusively on Fox. All the action begins March 2023 in Taiwan, Japan, Arizona, and Florida. Go to worldbaseballclassic.com for more information. And of course, good luck to my good friend and co-host Mark DeRosa, who will be leading Team USA in the upcoming World Baseball Classic. Big inning for the National League. They sent 9 men to the plate, scored 6 runs, and now lead 7-3, excuse me, here. As we begin play here in the 6th inning. Got a host of position changes.
I think we got somebody waiting to talk to us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's bring in Heston Kjerstad, who joins us now here from the American League. Heston, what has your experience been like so far this season, or so far here in Arizona?
Oh, it's been awesome playing out here in the Fall League. A lot of good players, a lot of good talent, and just a lot of competition to go up against every day.
Hey, Heston, it's Dan O'Dowd. First of all, congratulations. I know that was a rocket, your second at-bat. I know that had to feel really good. But, man, you've had an uphill climb, buddy. I mean, it's been one obstacle after another. Can you walk us through the challenges of what you've been through and kind of where you're at now physically?
Oh, for sure. You know, I had some setbacks the last year or so. But, you know, those are part of the game. You know, I got sidelined for myocarditis and then pulled my hamstring pretty good in spring training this year. But just pumped to be back out here, and you know, that's part of being an athlete. You're going to go through injuries and setbacks, and that's also a part of life. You just got to persevere and keep moving forward and see what you can learn from them, and hopefully you'll learn something that'll make you better in the end.
Hey, Heston, Jim Callis here. Yeah, I talked to you right before the season started, and then after you hit a bomb on opening night, about 424-foot home run, and I was struck just about how much you were enjoying being back on the field. How exciting is it, A, to be back on the field, but B, making progress in an Orioles organization that's got a lot of young talent rising to the majors? Who's messing with the sunflower seeds there?
Simeon. Give me a little shower.
But how exciting is it to, like, A, get back on the field, and B, look at how bright the future seems to be for the Orioles in the next couple of years?
Oh, without a doubt. It's awesome to be out here playing baseball all the time, that's for sure. You know, love to do it. That's what I always want to do. It's a lot of fun. And then, you know, being in an org that's up and coming, you know, it's awesome to see that. You know, it's fun to be a part of teams that win and hopefully be a part of winning teams in the future.
Hey, Heston, where do you think your game is right now, buddy, after missing so much time and you know, just getting back in the rhythm? Where do you think your game's at right now?
You know, I think I'm in a good spot right now, you know, kind of work some stuff out, you know, hitting-wise, and even just working on all aspects, whether it's base running or defense, just finally getting my feet under me and making progress and everything like that. So, you know, here forward, I feel like I'm in a good spot, but, you know, I still got things I need to improve and things I want to get better at.
When you talk about the hitting aspect of it, what has been your focus of what you're trying to, you know, to work on to take your game to the next level?
Just hitting the ball well to all parts of the field. and just having good plate discipline. Those two are the main keys for me to have success.
Well, Heston, I know we were talking earlier. I know you're eager to get back to University of Arkansas, work out there, and also get back home to West Texas. So we appreciate the time.
For sure. Good talking with y'all. Thanks for having me.
You got it. That's Heston Kjerstad from the Baltimore Orioles system. Jason Dominguez went down, grounded out to second. Before that, Colt Keith went down swinging. New pitcher
He's bringing it.
Is Abner Uribe.
He is bringing some serious heat here, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, this is 100-plus velo here.
Yeah, no, I think he hit 101 when I saw him the first week of the season, and throws very hard, has a very hard slider. It was an 89-mile-an-hour slider there. Command and control aren't always his friends, but he's got power stuff.
Meantime, Steven Scott with a 2-out knock to right, and that will extend the inning. We go back to the top of the order, and we have a pinch hitter. So pinch hitting for Ronnie Simon will be Luis Angel Acuna.
He's one of the more exciting players in the league. He's Ronald's younger brother.
Yes.
He doesn't have quite the same upside, although very few people do, but he's got a lot of upside. He can hit, he's got power, he can run, he's a really good shortstop, he's got a strong arm. You know, Ronald was the MVP here, I want to say 2017, and was the same ridiculous player he is in the big leagues here. But you're going to hear about this guy in Texas in the very near future.
I mean, 20 years old, got to Double-A last year, had a really solid year. Jim, what would you say his carrying tools are?
I think he can do it all. I mean, honestly, I think if you're a position player, you're going to have to be able to hit. But, like, he has a chance for 55s or better across the board. And he plays a really nice shortstop. He's improved defensively. So it's hard to pick out just one. I think it's the combination that he can do it all.
Ball gets away, and that will allow Steven Scott to head to second base. As Cuero behind the plate has some problems with that velocity. Allows a runner to move into scoring position.
Hey, Robert, how about this? Having an older brother as talented as he is. It's a really interesting family dynamic going on around there.
I mean, it's...
I'd be scouting right now, see if they have another brother somewhere.
Yeah, and Luis Angel got a higher bonus. Ronald signed for just $100,000. Luis Angel got $425,000, so he can.
Ronald just passed him a little bit on the guarantee.
Yeah, I think Ronald's probably total compensation moved ahead of him.
So you do think he can stay at shortstop?
I do. Now you have Corey Seager there.
I know
so,
that,
but yeah.
Corey Seager can play other positions too.
He's improved defensively. I think there was a question when he first started off in the minors, where exactly is he going to fit? He was the Rangers Defensive Player of the Year in the minor leagues in 2021. And I saw him play. I was out here the first week before I came back to the final week, and he looked really good at shortstop. Made some nice plays. And the nice thing is, he can really play anywhere with a plus arm and solid to plus speed. You know, okay, if he's blocked by Corey Seager, there's a number of options where he could go. He might make a really athletic third baseman, too.
Here's the 2-2, ball in the dirt. That's a nice stop there by Cuero.
As soon as the runners got on base, Uribe's completely lost the feel for the strike zone.
Take a look at your Arizona Fall League MVP award winners.
That's a good list.
Yeah, and they eventually went on to become Major League All-Stars. Acuna did it in 2017, and Gleyber Torres the year before in 2016. His younger brother has run the count full here to 3-2. Gets a piece just to stay alive, and will do it again.
I remember after the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, Jed Hoyer and Theo Epstein came down, and I was talking to Jed. It was right when they first got down here, and congratulating him on the World Series and all that. And he was like, "So who's been the best player down here?" And I chuckled and I said, "Oh, without a question, it's Gleyber Torres, the guy you just traded a couple months ago." But we both, you win a World Series, trade him for Aroldis Chapman, it was all good.
Yeah.
But had the Guardians, I guess then the Indians, pulled off the comeback after tying against Chapman,
Torres, yeah.
like they would have been getting killed for trading Gleyber Torres to rent a reliever.
Well, Luis Angel Acuna draws a 2-out walk. As Dan, you mentioned that you've noticed since runners have been on base, Uribe has lost a little bit of the touch and feel.
Yeah, he's lost his deliveries come apart on the mound. He's separating late. His arm's getting out of the glove. Not on time at all. Good. Threw a breaking ball there. Try to get him back in his delivery.
All right, so we have a pinch hitter here.
Yeah, Nicky York.
Mickey York.
First round pick of the Red Sox.
So he is pinch hitting for Heston Kjerstad, who we interviewed just a few moments ago. He's got runners at first and second. He's down in the count 0-2. Look at his Arizona Fall League stats so far. Once again, small sample size, hitting .342.
Jim, important for him coming off a really challenging year to come down here and play well and finish the year on a positive note.
It is, and you know, I was impressed. I mean, struck out there on 88-mile-an-hour breaking ball, but when I talked to him about the year he was hurt, and he said, no excuses, I just had a bad year, I need to be better.
So a little bit of everything from Uribe in that inning. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. National League leading 7-3.
You got a dog. Hi.
Oh, what you got there? All right, go get it. Yeah, good boy.
Dibs, I got it first.
When it comes to lasting relationships, we're thinking of every mile. The new Hyundai Tucson. It's your journey.
Who wants burgers?
Ooh, it's the DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. That is 5 tasty burgers right there. There goes a spicy flamethrower and loaded A1 Signature Stack Burgers.
Go, Mom.
You're still the cool mom.
Thank you.
DQ, happy taste.
For exceptional health care for women and their families, visit Susan Pinsky, MD and Associates, a Ms. Medicine practice. We provide 24/7 access to your doctor, exceptional care, and peace of mind knowing Dr. Pinsky has your best interest at heart. We're an evidence-based practice that focuses on your overall health and wellness. Schedule a complimentary meet and greet with Susan Pinsky, MD and Associates today.
What will you do? Will you make something better? Create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors can provide you with the tools and expertise you need to bring out the innovator in you.
So is this stuff really fresh?
Yes. I mean, yeah, we don't have freezers, we don't have microwaves. We always have fresh stuff coming in. I mean, this is the best guac that you can get.
Fresh is what you stand for.
Definitely.
MLB Network does not rest in the offseason. Matt Vasgersian, Harold Reynolds, Lauren Shahadi cover all the trade rumors and free agent chatter. Stay with the stove that's always hot. It's Hot Stove, weekday mornings, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on MLB Network. I think as Hot Stove will be beginning tomorrow morning.
Ooh. Harold hits the ground running.
Yeah, he does. Francis Peguero is the new pitcher for the American League in the Minnesota Twins system. Came along, traded with Sonny Gray last season. It's a grounder to short, and quickly there's one down. Got a mid-90s fastball. Nice play there by Acuna. As we're playing in the bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at Francis Peguero's numbers here in the Arizona Fall League. 9 games, an ERA under 3. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Cuero is interesting. I mean, we aren't going to see Henry Davis catch today. I think Henry Davis is going to wind up going to the DH spot for Jordan Walker. But you know, Henry Davis is known for having a plus arm. Cuero has a plus arm as well. I saw him throw out 3 guys in one game trying to steal. You know, and down here, you know, they're using the rule where you can only throw over to first twice. You can't really pick guys off.
This one's going to stay in the infield, and another chance for Acuna, and quickly there's 2 down. So here's Jose Salas, entered the game as a pinch runner, eventually came around to score. Interesting story, Jim. He was born in the United States in the Orlando area, but then when he was around 9 or 10, moved to Venezuela.
Yeah, he was the priority international prospect for the Marlins a couple of years ago. I think there's a chance he might be their best prospect by the end of next season. They've got a lot of young shortstops. He might be the most impressive. He's one of the younger guys here. Nice foul ball there, but nice contact and a nice sound off the bat there. But he's a really interesting player, and I think his profile is going to rise. It would not shock me if we saw him in the Futures game next year.
Really quick hands, fastball in. Lightning quick hands through the zone there.
Free agent signing out of Venezuela for $2.8 million. Marlins number 5 prospect slaps that one the other way. Nice play by the third baseman over to first in time. And that will retire the side.
Plus run.
Quick inning there for Briguero. We're going to the top of the 7th. The American League, they've got some work to do. They're down 7-3.
Don't just clean it. Clean it. OxyClean Laundry and Home Sanitizer kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. And that feels... OxyClean Laundry and Home Sanitizer also kills the virus that causes COVID-19.
Introducing Domino's new leftovers. It's the same delicious pizza you expect from Domino's, but instead of eating it all tonight, you save some for tomorrow. Sure, it's hot and melty and really delicious, but resist the temptation and you have Domino's leftovers. Domino's leftovers are delicious straight from the toaster oven. They're delicious straight from the skillet.
Who reheats cold pizza?
Right now, you can try Domino's leftovers yourself when you get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $6.99 each. Enjoy one tonight, love one tomorrow.
Hello. I saw you move in and I wanted to welcome you to the neighborhood with some homemade biscuits.
Oh, that's so nice.
And a little tip, Geico could help you save on homeowners insurance.
Oh.
Cookies?
Biscuits.
Is there a little nutmeg in there?
Oh, it's my mum's secret recipe.
You can tell me.
It's a secret.
Is it cinnamon?
It's my mum's secret recipe.
Call Geico and see how easy saving on homeowners and condo insurance can be.
I'll come back for the plate.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you with Inflation Buster. Plus, if rates drop within 3 years of purchase, you can refinance with exclusive savings with Rate Drop Advantage. Visit inflationbuster.com to get started.
Catch more live November baseball on MLB Network with the Arizona Fall League Championship game. Watch baseball's hottest prospects duel for the Desert Crown. Saturday, 8 Eastern, only on MLB Network.
Back here, 7th inning, National League leading the American League 7-3. St. Louis Cardinal fans, you obviously had a great season in 2022, but could it be even better? Here's a look at the potential lineup as it lays out, depending on how things work out. And Jordan Walker figuring prominently on that list, and the Cardinals prospect good enough to join us now. Jordan, we were talking to the break there. You thought you hit that home run to the opposite field, didn't you?
I did. I really thought I got that one. I thought I made it 5-2 by myself, but I guess I'm not nearly as strong as I thought I was.
Hey, Jordan, it's Dan O'Dowd. Just curious, buddy, for you, what's been the biggest adjustment going from being a high school player into professional baseball to get you kind of where you're at now?
I think a lot of people would say the velocity, because the velocity is definitely a big adjustment. But I think for me, it's the pitch, like the pitch sequencing. It's really not predictable out here, man. These guys are really good, and even if they throw 97 to 100, they're still going to be throwing a lot of sliders. So, you know, not just selling out to one pitch and learning that people are going to throw all their pitches in any part of the count is what I feel like what really made the big adjustment for me.
Yeah, what offensively, you've made some adjustments since you were a younger player.
Absolutely.
What has been the biggest one for you that's made you seem like you're more on time?
I definitely think getting rid of that big leg kick, for sure. I feel like that big leg kick, you know, they can blow me away with velo, and then if I try to catch up to the velo, they can, you know, have me out front on the sliders and changeups. And, you know, as I keep going up levels, the sliders and changeups get a lot more, like a lot better. So I think that, you know, taking away the leg kick, you know, I feel like I'm a pretty strong guy, so I can, you know, tone down the leg kick a little bit, have a little leg kick, and it helps me time up, you know, the fastball and the slider, just be on time for everything, you know. And I think that's the key to being a hitter, and, you know, just adjusting as you go along. And it's been fun. I've actually been learning from a lot of my Springfield Cardinals teammates and my teammates from the Cardinals who are here. So, you know, I got to give props to them with definitely helping me out with my hitting.
Jordan, you know, talking about teammates, you know, even though the 2020 draft was only 5 rounds long, it looks like it could be a pretty special draft.
Absolutely.
For the Cardinals. You have you, Tink Hence, maybe we'll get to see pitch later in this game. Mason Wynn's in the game. And Alec Burleson's not here, but he's another top 100 prospect. That's 4 top 100 prospects. What's it like coming through the minors with those guys?
Oh, yeah, it's really exciting, man. I feel like we're all getting to that point. And Burleson, man, he's been shooting up the system really quickly and got time in the big leagues. And I think he's ready. He's one of the best hitters I've seen. And, yeah, I'm really excited about that class of 2020 that we have, man. We talk about it all the time. At our apartment back after, you know, we're relaxing, you know, playing cards with each other. You know, we're really excited about what the future holds for us.
Well, I know that you're a confident young man. You've been that way your whole life. So I guess the biggest question is, how close do you feel like you are to being a big league player?
I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like I'm pretty close, and I really trust the Cardinals organization with the way they're handling things. And yeah, I feel like, the more I see it, I feel like AA was a really good challenge for me this year. It was definitely the best year with, I've seen the best stuff, the best fastballs, the best sliders, the best changeups. And, all year I've been told that's what you're going to be seeing in the league. So I feel like that's a really good step for me, and, just seeing a little bit more, more consistently, fastballs and sliders, elite fastballs, and I feel like I'll be there. But I feel like I'm pretty ready right now, and I do trust the Cardinals or whatever they have in store for me.
And Jordan, that confidence obviously in full display with your Halloween costume choice. I believe we have a shot of it here.
Absolutely. I want everybody to see it for sure.
Okay, at first I thought it was a rabbit, but now I see it's a dog, because you got that dog in you, right?
Actually, it's a sloth. I wanted.
It's not a dog?
It's funny, man. I was actually looking for a dog, either a dog or a tiger or a lion or something like that, because, those kind of alpha type, animals. But then I saw the sloth and I was just cracking up, so I had to go with the sloth.
All right, well.
Oh, that's a good swing.
That is a good swing. He's going for two. Butler
he's fast.
With a double. So a two-out double.
Yeah, he's fast. You saw it out the gate. It's a good swing.
That's Lawrence Butler from the Oakland A's system with a two-out double here in the top of the seventh.
So, Jordan, let me ask you. I always feel like players know other players, like who can play. Who's really jumped out to you here in the Arizona Fall League?
Oh, man, there's a long list of people, from pitchers, Kumar, Quinn Priester, the dude who just hit the double, Lawrence Butler, Edward, Julian. Man, these guys everybody's really good, but those are just to name a few who's really jumped out. Definitely Zach Veen, man, I've been on his team the whole Fall League, and the things that he's doing, not just at the plate, man. Have y'all seen him, video of him running and him running out that walk and getting to second base on that ball four? Have you guys seen that?
Oh, yeah, video? I did see that.
Yeah, the things he does back there is crazy, man. So it's truly a joy to watch, man. And everybody here is really good. And those people I just named are pretty impressive to me. And there's definitely a lot more out here.
Well, I think you should come to work at the MLB Network in the offseason here, Jordan. I think you'd fit in pretty well.
Thank you. I mean, I would love, if you guys would have me, I would love to do it.
There you go, Robert.
Hey, thank you very much for the time, Jordan.
Baby. Thank you, guys.
All right. More from Mesa after this. 7-3 National League.
It's your boy, Biggie.
That is Reggie Bush, dressed up as a Wendy's biggie bag.
Fries! Come on,
Nuggets!
There it is! Drinks! No, not the drinks, man.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $5 biggie bag.
Life has never felt so expensive. So why is Omar snoozing like a baby? Because he made the smart choice to shop with IKEA. Jamie hasn't stopped dancing since she left the store. With IKEA, you're caring for your wallet and each other and your guests and the planet. Now you can afford even more with new benefits for IKEA family members, including 5% off all eligible purchases in store. Every visit, every day. IKEA.
This week is your chance to try any Subway footlong for free, like the Subway Series menu. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Free Monsters, free Bosses, any footlong for free. This guy loves a great offer, so let's see some hustle.
Take a picture.
I'm stuck! Is that a new iPhone?
Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera at T-Mobile.
I don't know what to do.
Just switch to T-Mobile and you can get iPhone 14 with Apple TV Plus included. And so much more. I'm talking over $225 in benefits every month.
Wow.
At T-Mobile, get iPhone 14 on us with Apple TV Plus included. Part of over $225 in benefits every month on Max family plans.
Get a free Doritos Locos Tacos only on the app now by signing up for Taco Bell Rewards. And join our fans as they use Kyle Schwarber's World Series steal to run up the score on free tacos. Steal a base, steal a taco.
Wipeout slide.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. I've always wanted to read one of those. Now I have it.
There you go.
Back here in Mesa, Arizona, Dan O'Dowd, Jim Callis, Robert Flores. The National League leading And batting in the bottom of the 7th, top of the order is Zach Veen. And there is a very interesting prospect on the mound for the American League that you want to get into, Jim.
Yeah, Evan Reiffert's probably been the breakout pitcher of the fall league. He was a non-drafted free agent, signed with the Brewers, traded for Mike Brosseau after last season. He's yet to give up a hit down here. 22 strikeouts in 10 2/3 innings. He's 94-98. He's got a pretty nasty slider, too, which he just threw there to get a deep fly to center.
And there's one away. I mean, he's got a tailor-made nickname, Dan.
He does.
The Grim Reifert.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
I can't take credit for that. I know you're.
I was going to swear you didn't come up with that.
I did not.
I thought like you're the nickname.
Yeah, I know. You would think, but no.
So Jimmy, this guy pretty much has got a chance to be in their big league bullpen next year.
Yeah, I mean, and it's another example of the Rays pro scouting department taking a guy who was a non-drafted free agent and pitched 1 year and grabbing him and, you know, getting him. Mike Brosseau was a key part of their team, big home run to get them in the 2020 World Series.
They just do a great job of identifying those guys.
Identifying and making them better. And like, here's another example. I mean, I'll admit I had not really heard of Evan Reifert. I knew him a little bit coming out of the draft. I do the Midwest, as you know. He was at North Iowa Area Community College in Central Missouri, so I knew the name because he had some velo, but I hadn't really heard much about him until he came out here and just dominated.
Well, I can tell you, he's a Rays pitcher because he throws out of like he's a real short armor. He's a very difficult guy to pick up out of that slot.
And he's gotten 2 fly balls here in the bottom of the 7th. That one from the pinch hitter, Mason Wynn. Actually, Wynn came in as a pinch runner, stayed in the lineup.
Hey, Mason Wynn, when you get a chance to talk much, he's a good-looking kid. It's another chance to be an impact player for the Cardinals, and he's another guy's not far away.
That'll bring up Andy Pages. Struck out a couple times, does have a sac fly. Swing and a miss there. Reifert struck out 20 of the first 33 batters he faced. And as Jim detailed, undervalued maybe coming into the draft, a 30th round pick by the Texas Rangers in 2018.
Yeah, and he didn't sign that year, and then he got kind of caught like a lot of guys did in 2020 with the 5-round draft. He'd gone from junior college to Central Missouri, which is a good D2 program. And, you know, great signing by the Brewers. And it looks like it's going to be the Rays who reap the dividends of.
Those two teams have made some interesting trades over the years, haven't they? Adames, Rasmussen, and I mean, that's a really tough slot, guys, to hit, to pick up a ball out of, and it just jumps on you.
Dan, previous deals can set the foundation for future deals, right?
Yep, agree. Yeah, I think organizations that communicate well and talk well, that does happen.
That's in the dirt.
I just want him to get on base so I can see the young man up next against this guy, Mr. Walker.
Yes, he was our previous guest he was our guest in the previous half inning. Nearly hit a home run in his last at bat.
He's got some personality, doesn't he?
Fly ball, deep left, but twisting and curling foul.
He's done that
That's the second time.
Andy has just missed 2 balls right now.
Yeah.
He could easily have 2 home runs today. This guy's got enormous power. Definitely going to have to improve his pitch recognition skills a little bit, especially against balls that spin.
In the Dodgers system, by the way, the Dodgers opening up as the betting favorite to win the 2023 World Series. Pages flies one shallow center field. 3 fly balls, accounting for all 3 outs. We're through 7. National League leading the American League here in Mesa, 7-3.
Time for the best interview in baseball. Who's the cheapest guy on your team? Most annoying teammate to sit next to?
I got one speed in this game, speed.
I haven't had a salad in a long time, if you couldn't tell.
I'm going to keep that in my bragging rights for sure.
1-5. Are you ready? Go do it, dog!
There are 2 kinds of bourbon drinkers. Those who put it on a pedestal, and those who put it within reach. If you'd rather add rocks to your glass than bourbon to your collection, there's Evan Williams 1783. An award-winning small batch that's extra aged, 90 proof, and easy to enjoy, with or without friends. What can we say? You're our kind of people. Evan Williams 1783 small batch. When bourbon's done right, people notice.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
What's for dinner? Panera. Freshly prepared with clean ingredients. It's not just a night off from cooking. It's a delicious night on for everyone at the table. Panera. Only $1 delivery fee on our app.
Welcome back to Mesa, Arizona, site of the Arizona Fall League All-Stars game. Mesa, Arizona, the spring training home of the Chicago Cubs. A beautiful city, beautiful complex here as we enjoy the final couple of innings here of the Fall League All-Star game. Pleased to be joined by Jackson Merrill, shortstop in the San Diego Padres system. Jackson, what was the experience like for you out there today?
It was a great experience. I actually get to play with a bunch of different players all over different orgs, and I really loved it today. It was perfect.
Hey, Jackson, Dan O'Dowd, I think you might be the youngest position player in the league out here, so what has this experience meant to you overall?
I'd say it's really just been a really great opportunity, really unexpected opportunity. At the beginning of the season, I really didn't think it was coming, but when I got the notification, I was like, all right, let's go, let's do it. So it's been great.
Jackson, Jim Callis here. How has the adjustment been? I mean, you had some injuries this year, wrist and hamstring. You only played 55 games, and you didn't play above single A. You're seeing guys out here who've been in double A, triple A. How has the adjustment been for you?
I feel like every time I've gone up a level, like from high school to pro ball and then rookie ball to low A, I really adjusted to the velocity and all the different pitch types. And I feel like I got here and I kind of did the same thing. I really adjusted to the induced vertical and a lot of the good pitches that these double A arms and triple A arms have.
Hey, Jackson, you got a great swing. Is it the same swing you've always had, buddy, or have you made some changes to it since you got into pro ball?
It's the same swing I always had. Just made some tweaks here and there and kind of just tuned it up. But, yeah, it's been the same swing since I was little.
Jackson, what's going to be your off-season plan? Obviously, you're going to hopefully get some rest and some downtime, but after that, what are you hoping to, what does that off-season roadmap look like for you?
So I'll probably be out here in Arizona most of the time. I love training out here. It's a lot warmer than where I live in Maryland. It's too cold there. So, yeah, I get my ground balls, I get my workout here, so I'll probably be out here the majority of the time.
And how much do you think this will help you going into next year? I mean, do you have any idea? I mean, it's probably still early. Like, you thinking maybe make the jump to double A at some point next year? And how much would this help when you do that?
I mean, yeah, I'd love to make the jump to double A. That'd be huge for me. I feel like it'd be really helpful that I've been here since I've been facing all these good arms and I'm so young that I have an advantage on a lot of other people.
Hey, what has been the biggest adjustment for your high school player coming into pro ball? For all the other young players out there, what has been the biggest adjustment for you?
I'd say definitely the pace of play. Not only the velo of the pitching, but definitely the pace of play, the ground ball, speed, really everything in the game. It's so sped up now compared to my high school days.
How about the grind? The longer season, the daily commitment. Like, walk us through a little bit of the grind.
Yeah, so I mean, my senior year of high school, I only played 15 games, so I got out here and this is a big wake up. But yeah, as you guys said before, I missed half the season, so I didn't play as many games. But even so, it was still a little tiring. But I think next year I'll be even more ready.
Well, Jackson, congratulations on all your success. Enjoy the offseason and enjoy the beautiful weather here in Arizona.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You got it. That's shortstop Jackson Merrill from the San Diego Padres system. We want to remind you or tell you about a new pitcher on the mound. It is Spencer Bivens out of Division III Rogers State. Jim, in 2019, he played in France. I mean, this is quite a unique journey here.
Yeah, I don't think we see too many guys here in the Fall League who came here via France. But yeah, he went from Division III ball to France. Then he spent parts of 3 seasons playing in multiple independent leagues. The Giants signed him as a minor league free agent in May. Wound up pitching a little bit between single A and triple A. Came out here and he's pitched great. Sub-1 ERA, 11 strikeouts in 10 innings. So we'll see, and we've seen today, like, he basically works with 93, 95 mile an hour fastball, and then he mixes in a cutter. Those are his 2 main pitches.
I'll tell you, Robert, for me, it shows you how incredible our game is, that No matter where you are, no matter what you do, if you have talent, scouts will find you. You just have to stay really persistent with it. And if you got a dream, you got to hold on to it as long as you possibly can.
I love that. He's facing David Fry, 6'2", 215-pound catcher in the Cleveland Guardians system. 7th-round pick in 2018 by Milwaukee before eventually finding his way into Cleveland. Was the player to be named later in a deal that sent J.C. Mejia to Milwaukee. There's an 0-2 from Bivens, and David Fry fouls it off.
Very versatile player. He's been a pro for 4 seasons, came out of Northwestern State in Louisiana. He has played every position but pitcher in his pro career thus far. A lot of first base and third base during the regular season this year, mostly catcher, trying to, you know, if he can make it a catcher, that helps elevate the bat. He's got some pop too.
Well, I'll tell you though, if you can have a player, even if he ends up being your 26th guy in the club, guys, and he can catch and play multiple positions. I mean, you know, if you look at Major League Baseball nowadays, you're going through 40, 45 players a year at the big league level. So if you're proficient in the versatility, but actually can catch, it really gives you a great opportunity to help a big league club.
Here's the 0-2. Gets just a piece to stay alive, and we'll do it again. I remember Isaiah Kiner-Falefa trying.
Absolutely.
He was a catcher in the Rangers, with the Rangers for a while. Obviously, primarily a shortstop, exclusively a shortstop with the New York Yankees this season. See the numbers from
17 home runs, so I mean, he's got some legitimate pop.
That misses low. It's 1-2. Top of the 8th here. National League leading 7-3. Here in Mesa, Arizona. Beautiful day out here. They'll crown their Arizona Fall League champion later this week.
And Jim and I will be here for that.
That's right.
You're bailing on us, but
apparently
we're kind of we're used to people bailing on us.
And we know we'll see Mickey Story in his surprise Saguaros, but you got 4 teams within a half game of each other for the 2nd and 3rd spots in the league for the play-in game on Friday. So it should be a very interesting final.
I'll tell you, those
here.
championship games are good too. They're very competitive. When kids get to this point, they want to win that game.
Ball gets away. That'll allow the runner to head to second. As Adam Hackenberg now finds himself in scoring position with 1 out. To tell you about Adam Hackenberg, he's the younger brother of Christian Hackenberg.
He is.
Former quarterback at Penn State and the New York Jets.
Yeah, how about that? Great family story right there.
Well, it doesn't just stop there either. He's got a brother.
I knew it wouldn't with you.
He's got a brother who was a 1st-round pick in MLS, who he says is the best athlete of the family, and he's got a little brother named Drew, who was the best pitcher at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech had a super regional team, I think, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was the best pitcher on Virginia Tech.
Oh, my
And I believe he's a draft-eligible sophomore, so 4. I talked to him at Media Day at the start of the season, and he basically said, God bless my parents.
I mean, that's some gene right there.
Gene, and they're going in a lot of different directions.
He had the patience to drive them everywhere, and all the food they ate, and all the competitiveness of 4 brothers who were quality athletes. But
exceptional athletes.
David Fry goes down swinging, and Spencer Vivens has a strikeout here. So 2 down, top of the 8th, and that'll bring up Luis Angel Acuna, who came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th.
You know, he's got a similar hand position as his brother does, where they hold their bat. I mean, obviously different body types.
Oh yeah, he does.
You look at the hand position though; it's somewhat almost identical.
What do you make of that hand position there? The pros and the cons.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care where you start your hands from. Just care about your movements to the ball. That's all. Everybody's different. Everybody's made differently too.
Not just one swing, right?
Absolutely.
That one chopped foul, and it's 1-2.
You can tell this young man likes to hit, though. You can tell some players go to the plate and they're going to work a count.
Here's that hand placement, Dan.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at his brother. I mean, very, very, very similar.
Boy,
so you wonder if they may have the same coach they've been working with, like their dad.
Yeah, he played professionally.
Yeah.
This guy likes to hit, though. You can tell when he gets in the box, he's looking to swing the bat.
Here's the 1-2 from Vivens. Fly ball.
That's trouble.
Up along the right field sideline. It could be trouble, but it's going to be foul. And we'll do it again. Of course, his big brother, Ronald, trying to work his way back from that devastating knee injury suffered in 2021.
Yeah, he wasn't quite the same player this year. Now, look at the year the Braves had. Hopefully, I'm sure they're banking on the fact they're going to get the explosive Ronald Acuna next year.
Yeah, I know in NFL, running backs or players that suffer the ACL, they're saying it's not that initial first year back. It's the second year post-surgery where you look more like yourself. And obviously the Braves are hoping that's the case. Pretty good AB here being put by Acuna.
As Jim talked about in his first at bat, I mean, he's got a feel for the barrel. He puts the ball in play.
And again, it's not his brother's tools. They're not as loud, but they're still pretty loud.
Absolutely.
And he's got all of them. I mean, he's a shortstop who could be a 20-20 guy.
He's grounded to second. This should end the inning.
Look at explosive speed down the line, too.
And it does. National League still leading 7-3. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Back from Mesa after this.
Take a picture. I'm stuck! Is that a new iPhone? Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera at T-Mobile. I don't know what to do. Just switch to T-Mobile and you can get iPhone 14 with Apple TV Plus included. And so much more. I'm talking over $225 in benefits every month.
Wow. At T-Mobile, get iPhone 14 on us with Apple TV Plus included. Part of over $225 in benefits every month on Max family plans.
DeLonghi, espresso made right.
Life is expensive, so why is Omar snoozing like a baby? Because he made the smart choice to shop with IKEA. With new benefits for IKEA family members, including 5% off all eligible purchases in store. Every visit, every day. IKEA.
Every offseason, the cards get shuffled as teams prepare to ante up. And MLB Tonight is all in. Get the definitive word on every rumor, deal, and signing. Watch MLB Tonight starting tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on MLB Network. New pitcher for the American League as we welcome you back here from Mesa, Arizona, where the National League is leading the American League, and it's Matt Rupenthal from the Houston Astros, the Astros lone representative here in this Arizona Fall League All-Star game.
He's a Vandy kid, had some arm injuries, had a nerve transplantation done. Actually, the pandemic probably helped him a lot. Watch how, Jim, much he's lowered his slot, throwing a lot of sinkers to go with more of a sweeping slider. I mean, that slot's on you really quick.
Yeah, I want to say at Vanderbilt, before he got hurt, he was more of a higher slot.
He was a higher slot guy, more of a traditional
curve,
yeah,
and
exactly.
Stayed on top of the curve.
So this is the Astros development machine.
And they, as we know, we saw the fruits of it last night. They do a wonderful job of making guys who aren't necessarily, big name prospects, high draft picks, big money international signees, and getting the most out of an awful lot of pitchers.
This young man's going to be in their big leagues at some point in time next year with his pitch mix and how he attacks the strike zone.
Well, he's got Jordan Walker on an 0-2 count. Walker skies one to shallow right, drifting out is the second baseman who makes a nice catch.
That's a very uncomfortable at bat, Robert, against a really good hitter. He had a very uncomfortable at bat. That low slot, right in here, just don't see that.
Jim, Matthew Rupenthal, Rule 5 draft eligible. So they've got a decision to make.
They do.
He pitched better. This is crazy here. At home this season, an ERA of 2.63. On the road, he was over 8.
That could just be the parks that he pitches in, too. That could be part of it. But, yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier. I mean, this is kind of a proving ground for a lot of relievers. Most teams send 4 pitchers here. So that's 120 pitchers here. And a lot of times, it's relievers who are Rule 5 eligible, and you're trying to figure out, okay, which guys are we going to protect? Which guys are we going to expose? And believe me, there's 29 other teams scouting your relievers to see if they might want to try to pluck a guy like a Rubenthal in the Rule 5 draft.
Here's Grant Levine at the plate, 6'4", 220, first baseman from the Rockies system.
A kid that we're still very high on. Is it more power over hit, Jim, or hit over power?
I thought it was going to be hit over power.
It's kind of gone the other way,
when they drafted him. It's kind of gone the other way, exactly. I mean, he's not too dissimilar from Michael Toglia, you know, who's, I think, a power over hit guy as well at first base.
Levine, number 42 overall pick out of Bedford High School in New Hampshire. Rockies' number 13 prospect. Of course, you've gotten a good look at their number 1 prospect this afternoon, Zach Veen.
I will say he's done a better job of getting back to who he was as an amateur this year. I think there's been less chase and just focusing on hitting the ball hard rather than trying to yank pitches out of the park. Like he really
I think a lot of
struggled
young players do that, and they make a mistake doing that too.
They do, and another thing I think that hurt a lot of young guys, including him, was the pandemic. He needed 500 at-bats that year. He didn't get them.
It's a good point, Chip.
And then he struggled again last year, and then this year he finally seemed to be settling down a little bit. And he's still pretty young.
Oh, he draws a walk here with 1 out in the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Xavier Warren. Switch hitter, 6'1", 215 pounds. Looks at the ball outside. 3rd round pick out of Central Michigan in 2020. Now, Jim, do I have this right? He was a catcher?
Yeah, he was.
He's dabbled in catching, and now he's in the infield?
Yeah, I mean, he caught some in college. You know, obviously just about everybody's more intriguing when they're a catcher. But the thing that intrigued you the most coming out of the draft was his hitting ability.
Yeah.
And I think now they're trying to maximize that. I mean, he was never, you know, a full-time catcher as an amateur, but he did catch some, and you were wondering if he could pull that off.
Could have been a double play ball. Ball caroms right to Rubenthal, who steps on the bag.
Very rarely do you see a 3-1.
Right.
That was a kick save.
Worked out for Rubenthal. Levine does advance to second. As you see, Perez has some problems with it.
I think he was trying to.
There.
Robert, I think he was trying to look, catch, and go to second real quick.
Perez, the home run derby champion.
This young man's an interesting kid, Mr. Malloy, isn't he, Jim?
Yeah, you know, the 2 guys who might have the best approaches in this league are Edouard Julien and Justin Henry Malloy. I've lost track of how many former Vanderbilt players there are here. Now, he didn't play a lot of Vanderbilt.
No, he transferred out of the program.
But he got a national championship. I think he was a reserve on that 2019 team. And transferred to Georgia Tech, but he just has a very good approach, and he may chase less than Julian. He may chase less than anybody in the league. Talked to him a little bit to start the season. He was saying sometimes, you know, he knows he may need to get a little bit more aggressive, you know, earlier in counts, but he's just got a really good eye at the plate.
Well, he's ahead in the count, 2-1 here.
So he was a 3rd baseman, and because of the commitment to Riley, so they've now got him in the outfield. Does it look like he can play out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think 3rd baseman was kind of iffy to begin with. Yeah, it was more of a fringy 3rd base, but yeah, I think he's more comfortable. I think that might be a good move for him. He's obviously not going to displace Austin Riley, and I think it's a little less defensive pressure, and maybe you tap into some more power.
Count even at 2-2. Swing and a miss, got him.
That was filthy.
Couple of strikeouts for Rubenthal in the inning. As the National League still leading the American League 7-3, we're going to the top of the 9th. Last licks for the American League.
When you get a chip in your windshield, trust Safelite. This couple counts on their SUV as they travel for their small business. So when they got a chip in their windshield, they brought it to Safelite for a same-day in-shop repair. We repaired the chip right away, and with their insurance, it was no cost to them.
Plus, to protect their glass, we installed new wipers too. That's service the way you need it.
Safe like repair, safe like replace.
At Lovesac, we design furniture for life, real life, messy life. Now, Lovesac Sactionals can be upgraded with Stealth Tech and immersive surround sound by Harman Kardon, upgradable, washable, and guaranteed for life at a Lovesac showroom.
What will you do? Will you make something better? Create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors can provide you with the tools and expertise you need to bring out the innovator in you.
So is this stuff really fresh?
Yes. I mean, yeah, we don't have freezers, we don't have microwaves, and we always have fresh stuff coming in. I mean, this is the best guac that you can get.
Fresh is what you stand for.
Definitely.
Let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
For skin as alive as you are, don't settle for silver. Harness the power of 7 moisturizers and 3 vitamins to smooth, heal, and moisturize your dry skin. Gold Bond. Champion your skin.
We've played 8 in Mesa, Arizona. The National League is leading the American League 7-3. This is the Arizona Fall League Fall Star game. A look at some of the brightest prospects across Major League Baseball. Maybe some players that could have an impact as early as 2023. So many unique rule changes and rules that were in play here at the Arizona Fall League and here at the All-Star game. Even though the American League is trailing 7-3, regardless what happens in this inning, the National League will bat in the bottom of the ninth.
So is that a new rule we're putting in place for this game?
I think they're probably going to continue to workshop that one before it's implemented at the big league level. New pitcher here from the Chicago Cubs system, Bailey Horn. Take a look at his Arizona Fall League stats. 1 save, ERA of 1.5. As York sends that one foul.
Yeah, he's interesting, Robert. He was a 5th-round pick in 2020 by the White Sox out of Auburn. He also pitched at McLennan Community College and that Tommy John while he was there. Got traded in 2021 to the Cubs, crossed town for Ryan Tepera, and his velocity started to tick up in the second half of the season. He can be mid-90s with a fastball, mid-80s slider. And if he throws strikes, you could see him in Chicago at some point next year.
As Nick York looks at a ball, he's behind in the count 1-2. York is the number 4 prospect in the Red Sox system, a number 17 overall pick in 2020 from Archbishop Mitty High School in California.
Well, the Red Sox like their California high school infielders in the first round between him and Marcelo Mayer and Mikey Romero.
Oh, what a throw. What a cannon from Mason Wynn. Had some problems initially, Dan, but my goodness.
Yeah, he's got a cannon, guys. He probably has one of the best infield arms in the game. That was flat-footed off of the ball in his glove. Just watch this cannon here. Okay, when you got scouting grades, that's an 8-on.
Yep.
That's an 8-on on a scouting grade. That's the best they come by. That's really good.
And we don't have StatCast available to us today, but the Futures game, and he geared up. I think he wanted to see how hard he could throw at the Futures game.
Yeah, he kind of hopped on that one.
But
Futures game.
it was still 100.5, still impressive. Even if you're throwing 100.5 with effort, I'll still give you that was impressive. But that was a more impressive play because there was no thinking about it. He just picked it up and whipped it over. He was a really good pitcher.
Jim, he's another guy that be careful with him. He can impact the big league club next year too.
Heston Kjerstad lifts one to left field. And that's out number 2.
Here's the Futures game throw, Jim. See this?
Ooh, mercy.
Head whack. I'm trying.
Yeah. No, that was.
Whoa.
Like, good thing the arm didn't follow him over to first base, but he was.
But like it, this is flat foot. That's flat-footed. Look at that. Oh,
he got him by a step.
He was mid-90s on the mound as a pitcher in high school too. I mean, I think teams were pretty split on which way to go with him.
So that's a pretty good draft for the Cardinals. We're going to look at that draft for years to come and go, oh my gosh.
Well, as we were talking to Jordan. Yep, Jordan Walker and Mason Wynn. I guess we're not going to see Tink Hens pitch today, but he was selected for the Futures game. He's a smaller guy who throws really hard. He can get it up in the upper 90s. And then Alec Burleson's a really good hitter as well.
Yeah, they got 2 guys in the best tools category here.
And then we had the 80 on. I put the 80 on there for you. I read your mind.
That's good. Yeah, most people don't put 80s because they're scared to.
Yeah, the only player on this board twice. As you're looking at Werner Blakely in the box.
The fact is, too, is that I think he's shown that he can stay at shortstop. He's got power. I mean, he plays the game with an air of confidence. I mean, he's not far from the big leagues either. You ask that kid if he feels he's close, he'll tell you even more than Mr. Walker did. Yeah, I think I'm probably ready.
Yeah, Jordan was very diplomatic. But going back to that graphic, you could argue that Jordan Walker. Well, Jordan Walker is a 60 hitter. You could argue
he's got an 80 arm too. Though.
Yeah, and you could argue, and you guys say you could argue Mason Wynn's a 60 defender. Sure, you could have just gone Jordan Walker and Mason Wynn across the board, full outs. 2 Jordan Walkers, 3 Mason Wynns, if you'd wanted to.
Werner Blakely draws a 2-out walk. That'll bring up Lawrence Butler.
Hit a double last time up. Yeah. How exciting! He
showcased the speed.
Wow.
He's not, I mean, people know him as a prospect, but he's not a top 100 guy that the casual fans are real familiar with. But he's one of the better prospects in the A system. He could be a 2020 guy. He can really hit. We should ask, he's another Georgia kid. I wonder if Jordan Walker crossed paths with him, because you saw his eyes perked up when he hit the double.
That's probably why he gave him some love. Right
yeah,
there.
because he got kind of excited when he was.
You too, though. Anybody that's from Georgia, you give a ton of love to too.
Yeah, that's true.
You destroy every other state, but you love anybody.
That's not true.
Georgia.
That's not true. I might quibble with Big Ten football power compared to the SEC, but I try to be nice to the various states. I was nice to Missouri State today.
Well, that's your second favorite.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Butler is a 6th-round pick back in 2018 out of Westlake High School in Atlanta. I'm not sure that I've ever seen a bat this yellow in professional baseball.
I think Connie's trying to do the whole uniform
I like it.
thing.
Yeah.
It's got
like color rush
some
with the bat
there.
I would like to see, occasionally for special occasions, you see at the major league level for Mother's Day, Father's Day, the blue bats, the pink bats. I would like to see that being used all the time. I don't know. Maybe you guys probably aren't on board.
We could experiment with that. A whole lot of thought, Robert. Honestly,
we could experiment with that in the fall league next year. That could be. We should get Chuck Fox back on here, the director of the league, and we could pitch that next year. Bats matching uniforms.
Yeah,
that's cool though. I like the yellow bat.
Here's the 1-2. Ooh, good pitch.
That's a really good pitch. Boy,
just outside. It's 2-2.
He gets it up there and lets it go. You're right. He's a very interesting kid. He's left-handed.
Tough on lefties. See, if we were at Salt Lake, I bet you Bailey Horn would have tapped his head twice, and we'd be looking at the scoreboard to see where that pitch was. With the ball strike review, you could do at Salt Lake.
Bailey Horn out of McLennan Community College in Waco, Texas. One famous alum from MCC, Jay Buhner. We're going to play the bottom of the 9th when we come back.
This is one heck of a script. Looking for a little bit of history tonight. Ground ball. Kim will go to first. It's their first no-hitter in franchise history. Java Joe, no.
Get a free Doritos Locos Tacos only on the app now by signing up for Taco Bell Rewards. And join our fans as they use Kyle Schwarber's World Series steal to run up the score on free tacos. Steal a base, steal a taco.
At Lovesac, we design furniture for life, real life, messy life. Now, Lovesac Sactionals can be upgraded with Stealth Tech and immersive surround sound by Harman Kardon, upgradable, washable, and guaranteed for life at a Lovesac showroom near you.
Get double rewards points this fall. Book now at bestwestern.com.
A breakfast croissant plus seasoned potatoes for $3, and they're red-shirting you?
It's just a standard work shirt.
Hey, way to stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reg.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same. But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different how? You sell high commission investment products, right?
Nope. Fisher avoids them.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Never at Fisher.
Okay, then you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we structure our fees so we do better when our clients do better. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Welcome back to Mesa, Arizona, Fall League All-Star Game. The new pitcher is Grant Wolfram out of the Texas Rangers system. Helped their Double-A team Frisco win a season championship in the Texas League.
You know, it was funny when Kumar Rocker made his first start out here, highly anticipated, one of the most famous guys ever here. Grant Wolfram actually outpitched him on that opening day, second day of the season start. 93-97 with a really hard slider. He's looked really, really good out here. As you can see by
I
those
think
numbers.
they're as excited about him, quite honestly, as any of their top arms in their system.
Now, despite the National League leading 7-3, they are going to take some. They're going to take their ABs here in the bottom of the ninth. So,
well, I think you need to let this young man pitch,
which is good. I'm all for this. This
let
is an
everyone
all-star
play
scenario.
and pitch just to see what they.
It's an all-star game.
Yeah. That's a rip to left field, and Cuero is aboard with a leadoff hit to start the bottom of the ninth.
So he's very happy they played the bottom of the ninth inning. Right
that's
there.
right.
Sal's a switch hitter. Quick hands from the left side. Has a hanging slider right there, guys. Threw a fastball right by him and threw a hanging slider.
That'll bring up Salas. Came on in the 6th as a pinch runner. Ball goes back to the backstop. Cuero will jog to second base. As mentioned earlier, Jose Salas, number 5 prospect in the Marlins system. Dan, they of course have a new manager introduced just a few days ago, Skip Schumacher.
Yeah, I think he's going to do a great job down there.
Salas 0 for 1, did score a run. That breaking ball in for a strike. It evens the count, he's ahead in the count 0-2.
It's funny, Jim. He throws 94 to 97. Last 3 pitches have been breaking balls.
Yeah, left on right too.
Here's the 0-2 from Wolfram. This is high and inside. 1-2.
Just a little inside.
And don't let the score deceive you. Yes, the National League is leading 7-3, but they want these players to get their ABs and their reps. Here's a chop at the first. Nice stop. Wolfram over to cover at first. And that's out number 1. Cuero does go to third, but Perez, who booted a ball earlier, makes up for it nicely here.
That was a hard play, too. That ball's going away from his glove, slicing down the right field line. He was pulled over a little bit in the 4-hole. That was tremendous reactions. Look at that play. That's a hard play to make. Great awareness, great flip.
And he was winner of the final vote. He
That's
wasn't
right.
originally
He was the
selected for
fan
this
vote.
game. So he won the fan vote. His last player at the roster.
He just got it. He just showed you why.
And he won the home run derby last night too, Dan. So he's had a good weekend.
All right, we're going to have a pitching change. We'll be back after this.
Life has never felt so expensive. So why is Omar snoozing like a baby? Because he made the smart choice to shop with IKEA. Jamie hasn't stopped dancing since she left the store. With IKEA, you're caring for your wallet, and each other, and your guests, and the planet. Now you can afford even more with new benefits for IKEA family members, including 5% off all eligible purchases in store. Every visit, every day. IKEA.
Who wants burgers?
Ooh, it's the DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. That is 5 tasty burgers right there. There goes a spicy flamethrower and loaded A1 Signature Stack Burgers.
Go, Mom?
You're still the cool mom.
Thank you.
DQ, happy tastes good.
Well, that's the thing about claims, you see. They don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take a chestnut. It doesn't just say, oh, beg pardon, sir, but it's now a good time for a jolly bit of window cracking. Oh, I mean, if they did, you wouldn't need a Geico claims team that's available 24/7. But, near as I can tell, chestnuts don't talk. Or maybe they're just really quiet.
Geico. Your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Well, got things to do, Mr. Chestnut, so...
Oh, check these out. The new 20s. You see what I can do in these.
Ooh, the breezy. The next-gen shoe you be giving away look good. What you got for Father Time?
You know Father Time, I got you. I always got you. Check those out.
The Monarchs. Yeah, because they old and I'm old. Yeah, that's funny. Seriously, where's the new ones? You know I know where you keep them. Ronnie!
Welcome back. We have an unprecedented amount of wackiness going on. We have dogs and cats living together. Austin Smith, a National League pitcher, is going to be pitching for the American League against the National League, starting with Zach Veen. Jim, of course, they're trying to get these guys some reps
cool.
and some.
He might hit
pitches.
98. He might hit 98 for us here before the game is over here. So it'll be cool to get a look at him.
I'm just happy Zach Veen gets to hit again. I want to see that one of him walking and running to second base.
Yeah, Smith, 6'4", 210 in the Braves system. 18th round pick in 2021 out of the University of Arizona. And this is what you're talking about.
Well, I watch this. Just watch the explosiveness and the baseball instincts and awareness. Look at this.
That's a walk. Ball got away. He ends up at second base.
Look at those strides. He eats up a lot of dirt.
Slaps that one the other way. That's going to be down the line. And yeah, he's thinking two. He's got two. It's a one-out double for Zach Veen. There's that speed you were talking about, Dan, on display in full effect.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. I mean, that swing right now is a perfect swing to take advantage of the big gaps in Coors Field. And that speed actually really plays there exceptionally well.
So he adds to the total. It's now an 8-3 game. That'll bring up Mason Wynn.
97 there.
Yeah, Jim, you know, you're right. This young man has a really good arm, really quick arm.
He first emerged in Division III at Southwestern University in Georgetown, Texas. Then the COVID year came. That was in 2019. COVID year, didn't really get to pitch much like everybody else. Transferred to Arizona, didn't throw a lot of strikes, and that's why he won the 18th round, Robert, because he didn't get to pitch a lot when he was with the Wildcats. But it's a big-time arm. Up to 98, and a pretty hard slider, too.
This is way outside. It's 2-1. You see the speed from Zach Veen. You saw the speed in the previous half inning from Mason Wynn's arm. Unleashing that cannon from shortstop. After he initially had problems with a sinking liner at short.
Two pretty good sliders right there.
Here's Smith with the 2-2. Grounded to second. Runner goes to third. Wynn is out at first, but Veen is 90 feet away from adding another run. That'll bring up Andy Pajes.
I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't mind seeing another Jordan Walker at bat, too.
Well, if Pajes gets on, that will be the case.
Are they going to bring Dan in and have Dan pitch now?
I don't
where
know.
do they get these pitchers from?
We'd be in trouble.
All right, another pitching change. We'll sort it all out when we come back.
Get a free Doritos Locos Tacos only on the app now by signing up for Taco Bell Rewards. And join our fans as they use Kyle Schwarber's World Series steal to run up the score on free tacos. Steal a base, steal a taco.
I had a bad relationship with my student loan. The interest was costing me, well, us, a fortune.
No matter how much we paid, it was always just there, you know?
So, I broke up with my bad student loan debt and refinanced with SoFi.
Turns out we could save thousands.
Break up with bad student loan debt and refi with SoFi. You could save thousands and pay no fees. Go to SoFi.com to view your rate. SoFi, get your money right.
Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean with odor blasters. Triple power action blasts away stains and obliterates odors for long-lasting freshness. More power to you.
There are two kinds of bourbon drinkers. Those who put it on a pedestal and those who put it within reach.
If you'd rather add rocks to your glass than bourbon to your collection, there's Evan Williams 1783. An award-winning small batch that's extra aged, 90 proof, and easy to enjoy, with or without friends. What can we say? You're our kind of people. Evan Williams 1783 small batch. When bourbon's done right, people notice.
This week is your chance to try any Subway footlong for free. Like the Subway Series menu. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Free Monsters, free Bosses, any footlong for free. This guy loves a great offer. So let's see some hustle.
Yeah, this is funny. Austin Smith, we're making fun of him pitching against the National League, even though he's on the National League team, and then he walked to the American League dugout and got grief from his teammates.
He doesn't know who he belongs to right now.
He's honorary American Leaguer now. The Braves have moved to the American League.
They were chirping on him pretty good right there. That's good.
But see, here's a treat. So, like, I now endorse the National Leaguers pitching for the American League because we get a look at Tink Hence, only top 100 pitcher who's going to pitch today.
Tell us a little about him, Jim.
He's up to 99 miles an hour. He hasn't thrown that hard down here. He's only pitched 6 innings. He's a little guy, but up to 99 miles an hour. Pretty good curveball, and flashes a solid changeup, too.
And he'll face Andy Pajes.
Goes breaking ball, 81.
Starts him off with a off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1.
We see Tink Hence, the lone pitcher on that list of top 100 prospects, 10 of them in today's game.
Yeah, the Cardinals' number 6 prospect, Pajes, sends it to center field. That will drop in for a hit. Veen will easily score, and Pajes has an RBI knock.
Now this gets interesting.
Yeah, because it's Tink Hence against, tell him, Dan, Jordan Walker.
Yeah, see, Walker just took his helmet off. He's talking to him now. There's some smack going on right now. That's great.
Went breaking ball to Pajes. Let's see what he does to Walker.
2 organization mates facing off against one another, and Walker greets his teammate with a fly ball, and it's caught. What a catch.
Look at that smile and Tink Hence. Tink Hence smiling as he comes off the mound there.
Jordan Walker nearly goes deep for a second time.
And Tink Hence doesn't know what dugout to go to either.
That's right. Walker missed out on 2 homers today.
He did.
One was a double. That one was caught by Kjerstad. And that will do it as the National League goes on to beat the American League by the final of 9-3. Take another look. This ball was scorched, Dan.
That ball was crushed. Tell you, his power to right field, guys, it's special.
That's a great catch by Kjerstad, and then look at the smile. He says, "I almost got you, Tink. I almost got you."
That's
good stuff.
Great, man. That's wonderful.
That's good stuff. 2 guys that maybe soon will be teammates at the big league level. They still got a little bit of work to do before that happens there. You take a look at Hence and Wynn and Walker, 3 representatives for the St. Louis Cardinals system.
All from the 2020 draft, too. All 3 representatives, all high school picks from the same draft.
Now, there's not an official MVP of this game, but if there was one,
we're going to pick it.
Matt Mervis would certainly deserve some consideration. He made a nice play defensively here in the 5th inning. Able to get off the bag at first and tag the runner. And then the bomb opposite field here did.
That ball's crushed. Left-hand hitter hitting a ball like a right-handed pull hit.
All part of a 9-3 win for the National League, and Matt Mervis joins us now. Matt, talk to us a little bit about that home run. What were you looking for? And it obviously went well for you.
Well, it's a guy that I've been playing with this whole summer. I've actually been talking to him about how to get left-handed guys out, because I know a bunch of them were leaning over the plate with his run, going back arm side. So, yeah, I didn't change anything, even though I told him that. So I'm just looking out over the plate, and he left the slider. Kind of backed up a little bit and stayed there for me.
Hey, Matt, congratulations. Dan O'Dowd. You've had just an incredible season. As you begin to reflect back on it, what do you think in your game really blossomed this year?
I think just consistency. I got the at-bats I needed. I was playing just about every day this year, and you know, throughout the years when I've gotten at bats, I've been able to prove myself and hit well. And you know, I struggled last year and had to make some adjustments. So just staying in the lineup every day this year and allowing me to really feel out my swing has helped a lot.
Matt, Jim Callis here. How sad are you going to be when this year ends? I mean, you led the minors in extra base hits and total bases and RBI, and I think counting today, what are we at, 43 homers between the minors and the fall league? You know, how much do you look forward to getting to spring training trying to win the first base job in Chicago? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't want to stop hitting. It's been fun. It's been a crazy year, unexpected at times, and yeah, I'm ready for a break to rest my body, but it's definitely been fun.
Well, Matt, congratulations on a fine season and a fine afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
That's Matt Mervis, the Chicago Cubs system. As we wrap it up here, what do you think, Dan O'Dowd? What kind of, you see any players that can have an impact next season?
I mean, obviously, I'm going on record. I think Jordan Walker's going to be the starting right fielder for the Cardinals next year. I think he's that close to being an impact player. You know, and I really liked what I saw of the young man in Pittsburgh. I think Gonzalez is close. I think Mason Wynn is close with the Cardinals, too.
Jim?
Yeah, and it was cool seeing guys do what they do best. We saw Jordan Walker's easy power. We saw Mason Wynn's incredible arm. We saw Mash Mervis hit another home run.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's another guy who, he's already conquered AAA. I think he might be the favorite unless the Cubs sign somebody to go out there and be the first base next year. And I will give the pitchers credit. I kept referring to how the hitters were ahead of the pitchers. And except for the 5th inning, which got away from the American League when the National League put up 6 runs, it was a pretty well-pitched game today.
Well, just a great scene and a great setting here in Mesa, Arizona. We want to remind you that Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern, we're going to wrap up our coverage of the Arizona Fall League with the championship game. Coming up next, MLB Tonight with Adnan Virk, Anthony Recker, and Ruben Amaro Jr. For Dan O'Dowd, Jim Collis, and our entire crew, I'm Robert Flores saying goodbye from Sloan Park. And thanks for watching the 2022 Arizona Fall League's Fall Stars game.